and they lost just at the end there. Well, let's get right to it. Golden State Warriors today is March the 1st. Happy March the 1st. We're playing Steph Curry and the Warriors. They have been doing very well since Draymond Green returned from his suspension for punching Josef Nurkic. They are now, I believe they're 12-5 since Draymond returned from his suspension. So the Warriors are much better at this point in the season. The first time we played them out west, we did very well, and I believe we beat them. Well, now we got to play them here, and well, they're probably gonna want some revenge. I remember it was one of the first games that RJ and Emmanuel played for us. We went to their building and beat them. I was saying that RJ Barrett wanted to capture those 2019 championship vibes by beating the crap out of the Warriors in a Raptors jersey, and that's what he did. So much like the Mavericks the other night, the Warriors have to want to even their series with us. It's not that we want them; they want to, or and it's not that we want them to. It's not that we want that to happen. It's just that in some ways there's pride. There's a certain level of like, okay, yeah, they got us last time. We need to get them. So we need to hold the fort, Fort York, and hold off the Warriors advancing coming into our arena tonight. Now, Draymond being back is a big factor. As much as I malign him and don't have a lot of respect for him, he does have a factor on that team that makes them better. And it's also interesting the demotion of Klay Thompson to the bench. He's been on the bench now. It's taken a lot to his ego. The writing was on the wall this whole season. For a while, people were saying, well, Chris Paul should start. Why isn't he starting? Well, take somebody out of the starting lineup. And people were saying, Klay Thompson, take him out of the starting lineup. It's just getting, career arcs arc. They arc. And, that's the thing you got to get used to. It's sad. It's just like life. You as a life form, you get older. Things change. And, well, Klay, it's been a great ride, bro. Sorry, you're on the bench now, my guy. I mean, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Steve Kerr wants to put the best team he can possibly put out there on the Warriors side. He has to put Klay Thompson on the bench at this point. It's crazy. He's gotten benched for a rookie. Yeah. Podziemski is starting for the Warriors now at small forward. All right, let's look at the injury report first. Guy Santes with his knee will miss game Tuesday against the Wizards. I think he's going to be out a little bit longer. They say he should be ready to play next week. So Guy Santos is out due to his knee, and also Andrew Wiggins missing games once again for family reasons. I hope that Mitchell Wiggins, Florida State track and also basketball star, former NBA player Mitchell Wiggins is doing all right. I know that a lot of the absences of Andrew Wiggins in the last couple of years has to do with the health of his father. And that's why it says on the box score, it said the other day, it said DNP, family matters. And people made really bad Urkel jokes after that. And I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? This man has an issue with a family member having health problems. And y'all trying to make jokes about a 90s sitcom in the comments. Yeah, family matters. That's a real valid excuse for why you miss a game. Okay? So just lay off our guy, Maple Jordan. We love Andrew Wiggins. And he will probably not be playing today. Although it says day to day. Who knows? Maybe he'll show up because it's home. Maybe he'll be like, family matters. Well, Canada is family matters. So I am here today. Either way, I mean, listen, I'd love for you to play, Andrew, if you can. But if you can't play, I'm not upset about that either. So, all right, let's see. On our side of things, we do have a couple people listed. Marquise Noel is still out with his left hamstring strain. Yeah, when I saw it happen, I was like, this is going to be a little bit with him. I could tell. And, man, I feel bad for Marquise because I know he's chomping at the bit to get further in his NBA career right now. And it's sad that he's just not in there. Chris Boucher also listed, still questionable with his illness. So all y'all Boucher lovers that get upset about him not being picked to go in the game, just chill out. Chris is sick. I'm not even sure what he has. He could be, with the C word right now, the COVID word. I don't know. They don't tell us this anymore. It's not like they say he's out with a non-COVID related illness. We don't know. Chris could have COVID right now. And that could be part of the reason why he's not even sitting on the bench near them. at the games. He did not sit on the bench on Dallas. So many people came out and said, why didn't they play Chris? Why didn't they play Chris? Well, Chris wasn't even in the arena. And he might not be in the arena again tonight. If he's contagious, let's just put it that way. That's for the best for everybody. So hold off on your free Chris Boucher chance, crowd, because honestly, I don't know if he can play because he has a sickness right now. He's sick. Yeah. So there you go. The Golden State Warriors starting lineup is interesting right now. I'm looking at it right this second. As I said, they're starting the rookie, Brandon Podziemski. That's shooting guard. Wiggins does start still, and Kuminga is the power forward with Draymond Green up front. Steph Curry, the point guard, of course. Their bench is as follows. The recently returned Chris Paul is back to solidify the bench unit with Klay Thompson, Gary Payton II, Dario Saric, and Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney coming off the bench also. Moses Moody has been starting for Andrew Wiggins recently. He started last night in the win over the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. The Warriors did play last night. They did win. They did beat the Knicks. And they're coming off a victory, but they are on a back-to-back. So we're going to be playing the Warriors tonight on their second night of a back-to-back. They also got guys like Trace Jackson Davis, Lester Quinones, and Pat Spencer and Usman Garaba are on the Warriors team. That's right. Garaba from the Rockets organization got traded to Garuba. Garuba got traded to the Warriors at some point. So he's there now. All right, there you go. There's your kind of your overlook of the rosters heading into the game tonight, Warriors versus Raptors. Toronto, baby. Let's go, Scotiabank Arena. Get loud tonight. Cheer our team. It's a Friday night. Let's get it rocking. Let's get some of those Caribbean vibes in the game tonight. We can't just have it all in one night, concentrate on one night. We have such power when we're in that night. Let's bring some more of it. Just play some of the music. Ask some of the dancers and the musical acts to come back. Let's just get that vibe back because honestly, it's a winning vibe, MLSE. When you do the Caribbean night, it just is awesome. Can we just do that for our regular motif, please? Please? Because we win when we do. All right, let's do the refs, guys. Here is your ref report for today's game against the Golden State Warriors. Whoa. All right, yeah, in the replay center, I don't know why I'm telling you this. James Capers, Carl Lane, Nate Green, Matt Callio. The Canadian ref is in the replay center tonight, y'all. That's a good thing. All right, here we go. Crew chief tonight is Brian Forte. Brian Forte is the son of a referee. He's the son of a son, the son of a son, the son of a son of a referee. Yeah. Oh, some Jimmy Buffett. Yeah. Rest in peace there, Jimmy. Let's see. NBA experience, 18 seasons out of Fairfax, Virginia. That's right. His dad was Joe Forte. Brian Forte, his favorite TV show is Breaking Bad. He likes The Godfather Part 2. He read The Count of Monte Cristo. He's the one who likes sushi, and he likes to watch Netflix, and he most like to visit Spain. That's right. Brian Forte is not a horrible ref. Not a horrible ref. Let's see what we got. He's the best ref for us today because honestly, we have a win percentage that's like decent. The other two are not very good. We win 57% of our games. Brian Forte referees in his whole career. We are 1-1 this season. We lost the last time he was refereeing us. And the Warriors win 56%. So it's a very slight edge for the Raptors with crew chief Brian Forte. 57-56 is the split. Very, very slight. Very, very slight. But he does slightly favor us. The second ref is Scott Foster's prodigy. Scott Foster's student. Scott Foster's pupil. Scott Foster's loves, this lady, and this lady loves Scott Foster. I've heard her on a video say, Scott Foster is my idol. Scott Foster is my hero. Scott Foster is who I try and be like all the time. Just so y'all know, Ashley Moyer-Gleish. Yeah. 7th season out of Lebanon, Pennsylvania. That's right. She's in the Pennsylvania mafia for referees. And that's why Ashley Moyer-Gleish is friends with Scott Foster. Scott Foster is mentoring her. So if you want the female version of Scott Foster, you get Moyer-Gleish. All right, her favorite TV show is Ted Lasso. So maybe she'll like our coach, is what I'll say. If your favorite TV show is Ted Lasso, Ashley, can you meet Mr. Rajakovic here? This is Coach Rajakovic. Hi, meet him. Yeah, you like Ted Lasso? This is Coach Darko. Yeah, maybe you'll see some similarities there. Favorite movie, Gone in 60 Seconds. She likes to listen to Rihanna. Her favorite book is Charlotte's Web. Okay, so Ashley, you like children's books and your favorite book is Charlotte's Web. That's fine. I'm not going to judge. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. I'm not judging. No, don't even think that I'm judging that your favorite book is Charlotte's Web. Favorite meal, Spanish food. All right, Tommy, try and find that Spanish food emoticon, please, if you are here. Favorite app, Future app. What is the Future app? I want to know. Maybe she knows something about the future. She must like to visit Italy and go on an African lion safari. You can't do that there, but she can do it in Africa if you want to go on a safari. And her hidden talent is double Dutch. So get those jump ropes up there and let's see her in the referee talent show doing the double Dutch. Yeah. Skipping. Go faster. There's three ropes. Yeah, 3 ropes. Can you do 3 ropes? Yeah. Moyer Gleish, the prodigy of Scott Foster. Let's see what her stats look like for the game. Let's see. She is the worst ref today for the Raptors. And it's silly. But it's really silly. We did lose the last game she refereed this year. We win 36% of our games when she's around. She's like a bottom 10 ref, just so you know, for the Raptors, just so you know. But listen to this. This is insane. And this seems like this has happened at least once already in the last 2 weeks. Her win percentage with the Warriors is even worse. Like we win 36%, they win 18%. That's crazy. The split is 36-18 for the Raptors with Ashley. That is insane. They played 11 games when she's reffed, and they've only won 2 of them, the Warriors. And that's in the last 5 years. I love that. So Ashley favors us, even though she's one of the worst refs for the Raptors in the whole league. The third ref is the other all-star ref. Well, an all-star ref, Derek Collins. We've seen Derek Collins recently. He did the all-star game. So he must be doing a good job this year because they gave him the reward of reffing the all-star game this year in Indianapolis. His 24th season out of New Orleans, Louisiana. His favorite TV show is Martin. His favorite movie is Glory. He loves to listen to Bob Marley. This guy's got good taste. Actually, that's new. You didn't have Bob Marley on there before. You changed that, Derek Collins. His favorite book is the Bible. His favorite meal is gumbo. He must like to visit Africa, and his bucket list is to fly on a plane. That's right. Derek Collins enjoys horseback riding, fishing, pool, weightlifting, bowling, and golf. Yeah, Derek, we had him just before the break, and he is down there next to Ashley near the bottom. Like, seriously, he's a bad ref for us, too. As far as like he's below Scott Foster, Ed Malloy, all the notorious refs. He has a worse winning percentage than them. We did win the last game he reffed, though. The one he reffed before the All-Star break, we did win that game, though. I'll have to say that. We win 44% of our games, Derek Collins refs. Meanwhile, the Warriors win 54%. So the split is in favor of the Warriors with Derek Collins. 44-54, the split for the last ref. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Meatloaf. We got Ashley, we got Brian, but Derek Collins favors the Warriors today. So there's your ref report. Brian Forte is a no-nonsense, pretty solid ref. Derek Collins can be surly. He can be like Tony Brothers. Don't push him. Don't show him up. Don't be arrogant. He'll punish you. And Ashley, well, she's from the school of Scott Foster, so we need to watch her. She may be the most manipulative of the 3 refs that are reffing tonight. So watch Moyer Gleish. Seriously. All right, there's your ref report. Let's get into the comments this morning. I hope everybody's having a great TGIF so far. It's a very sunny day in Toronto. Looks like a beautiful, beautiful day. The temperature dropped a little bit yesterday, but at least it's nice and clear. And just it looks like a nice day. You bundle up, you wear warm clothes, you'll be fine. Yeah, the Raptors on a homestead for a bit. This is the second game of 4 games in a row at home. It's nice to get this kind of time. Then they're going to go out west and do their final West Coast road trip for the season. So, yeah, March is an interesting month. 15 games this month. Let's see if we can get 8 out of the 15, Raptors. If we could have 30 wins by the end of March, I'll be very happy if you guys can get 30 wins by the end of March. Can you do that for me? Please. 22. Can you do that for me? Because they got 22 wins right now. Can you get 8 more and get to 30 by March? That's your challenge, Toronto Raptors. Let's win more than we lose in the month of March and get to 30 by the end of March. This is the monthly challenge from the Raptors Streak to the Toronto Raptors team, from me to you. Let's get 8 and get to 30 by the end of this month and have a winning record this month. How about that? I just want you to win 8 out of 15. That's 8-7. Can you do that for me? That's what I'm asking. Like Drake says, can you do that for me? Yeah. Monique is here. Good to see the super fan, Monique Lawrence. Good morning, Raptor Freak family, and happy game day. Let's hope the Raptors shoot their threes. We know IQ will, but Warriors are on a back-to-back. Hope they are tired. Go Raptors. Yeah, it seemed like it was a pretty intense game with the Knicks last night. They handled them pretty good. The absences of the Knicks roster right now glaring and not helping them. And really, it was Steph Curry last night being the big heavy lifter for the Warriors in scoring to help them beat the Knicks last night. Of course, the strengths of the Warriors are that they are a very veteran, knowledgeable, dynastic championship team with dynastic championship players, but they're a little older. And then you've got this gulf of experience between them and these youngsters who are trying to find their way in the league, and some of them more than others with success. So, yeah, we got to watch out for that. Of course, once again, it's a great test for our young players. Grady Dick, what's the lesson tonight? Facing off with Steph Curry. Yeah, what's your lesson tonight? Who's going to be a plumber? Who's going to step up and do some of that Anunoby work for us on guys like Steph Curry and Podzimski and Klay Thompson? You know, even though Clay is coming off the bench, he's somebody we need to find and look out for. In some ways, he's rejuvenated by less minutes and a drive to prove himself again coming off the bench. That's part of the reason why you do these kind of things, is to try and get better results out of him. Give him a kick in the head, because you're kind of like, your stats aren't looking good, Clay. So you got to come off the bench. And it's like, I hate coming off the bench. I'm going to prove them. I'll show them. It's that kind of shit. So, yeah, we got to watch out for Clay today, because he's a little bit like a hurt animal. Like, he's mad and he's like, he wants to start. And in some ways, he's hitting out because of that. So we got to look out. Superfan says, stay locked in and focus. Clean up your mistakes from last game. That's right. That's right. They watched a lot of tape. Darko, with more analysis of the tape from the practice interview yesterday, saying that there was stuff that they didn't do right, just in general on defense. He didn't like how easy Dallas was getting into the paint, and we didn't put up enough resistance towards the Mavericks when we played them the last game. And he wants to change that. That may be something we could key on watching. If the Raptors are more engaged in defense and meeting the offensive team to them, coming to them, bringing it to them, taking it to them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Trevor's here. Good morning, Raptors family. Happy game day. He's got a parade of Raptor faces. Scotty, RJ, Emmanuel, Kelly, Gary, Jakob, Darko, Masai, and Bobby. There you go, Trevor. Good morning to you, Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J. Always great to see you, my guy. Most saying also, eventually 905 streak had to end. Laugh out loud. Got too excited, Lex. Yeah, I mean, forgive me for getting excitable over wins for either Raptor team. I just do. I love winning. I'm like Masai. It's like a life form needs oxygen to breathe. Well, a Raptor freak needs some wins to breathe, Monique. And even the 905 wins, they count for me. So on that cue card, let's go ahead and go look at the 905 game last night. They ended up losing by 5 in the end. They were down by way more most of the game. They were down the whole game. At some points, they were down by as much as like 20 over 20 points, but they closed the gap in the fourth quarter. It was actually really crazy. They made it all the way and like actually took the lead for a second and then lost it at the very end. So it was kind of a tease. They kind of like made it look like they could rally and win this game, but they didn't execute clean enough and smart enough with stops and made baskets to actually win it. And part of the problem is the 905 can't make free throws, you dumbasses. Yeah, it's so dumb. It makes me mad how, they're going to lose a game and they miss so many free throws. They missed 5 free throws last night, 10 of 15 from the free throw line. Now, the thing is, once again, I'll remind everybody, when you miss a free throw in G League, unless it's in the last 2 minutes of the game, it's worth more than 1 point. So we can say they missed 5 free throws and say, no, that's not just 5 points, y'all. They missed out on probably up to 10, if not more, if some of those shots were 3-point shots. So you can calculate the 5 free throws could have ranged from like, it's not 5 for sure. It's probably about 7 or up to 12 or 14 points that they lost out. They lost by 5 points. So those 5 missed free throws, they're very, very crucial and really, really bad that they miss them, because the missed free throws is why the Raptors 905 lost last night. I'm going to say that right now. If they made their free throws and they done everything right there, they would have had a higher margin and won the game last night. My number one star of the game last night in the loss is Jonte Porter. Jonte Porter getting a double-double, 28 points, 12 rebounds. He shot a lot. He was shooting a lot again. 9 of 17, though. Very good shooting. 4 of 7 from 3. 3 of 3 at the free throw line. So he wasn't one of the free throw missers that was annoying me. 4 offensive rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, the plus 15 with 28 points and 34 minutes. Jonte Porter is absolutely the player of the game, number one star of the game. Our two-way looks real good. He's getting primed up. He doesn't look as hurt right now. He looks way more active and enthusiastic, and I'm ready for him to revisit the Raptors after this road trip. I'd like to see him come in for a little bit, although Darko's got a really strict 9-man rotation right now. Jonte's playing a high level again, just like he was earlier this season in the G League. He's playing at a very high level right now once again. So maybe we need to give him a look, Darko. Maybe. The second star of the game for me in the 905 game is Mo Gee. Mo had a double-double also, 24 points, 11 rebounds. Now, he had a couple issues I had with him, but, man, he had an overwhelmingly badass game. How can you get mad at 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 blocks? That, at his position, is fantastic. 9 of 13 shooting. He made the only three-point attempt he took. 3 of 6 at the line. So he missed 3 of the free throws of the 5 that is guilty. So he very much is guilty for partly why we lost this game, missing half his free throws. And I'm saying, those aren't just 3 points. They're like 2 points each. So he missed out on 6 points. We lost by 5. So you do the math. 2 assists, 1 steal, -5, 24 points in 34 minutes. Mo Gee, a bag of mixed bag of good and bad. The good with the double-double, the 6 blocks, but then the missed free throws, bro, that's really bad. That's really bad. In some ways, I can point a finger at you, my guy. The third star is just Daryl Morsell. Sometimes I just like to give steadiness to the bench. I feel like Daryl Morsell is up and down. Sometimes he has really good games. Sometimes he's not so great. Well, he had an okay game. Off the bench, 4 for 7. That's pretty good shooting. 1 of 3 from 3-point. Made his only free throw. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, a +1 with 10 points in 11 minutes. Didn't play a whole lot, but he filled it up while he was out there. Now, the rest of them, Javon Freeman-Liberty was really bad for most of the game. He didn't score until late. It was until the fourth quarter that he scored, and it was too little too late. He did get 17 quick, cooking. But they were talking about the whole game, how Freeman-Liberty was just quiet and not having a good game and was just off last night. He got started late. Let's just put it that way. Kobe Simmons returned from injury, and he looked fairly good. 5 of 12, 4 of 9 from 3, 14 points and 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds for Kobe. Not bad. If he shot better, I might have considered him. Drake Jeffries continues to disappoint me as far as he gets a lot of open shots and he misses them. You're supposed to be a three-point shooter, Drake, and you're missing the open threes, and it's annoying me. He only had 6, making only 2 of his 6 three-point attempts last night. The bench, very, very bad overall. Kevin O'Banner, okay, but the rest of them just, ugh. In some ways, McCurr is just sad because he has so much potential that he doesn't play right. Let's just put it that way. Amari Moore, solid with 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 points. And Miles Burns, just in there for a hot cup of coffee for 2 points. And -18, though. Yikes. Yeah, not impressed. 905. And on the other side, the Windy City Bulls had guys like, all right, they have an Estonian guy that I actually really like, Drell, and he scored 23. He was really good. Sanago was really good. These are guys that are both two ways. They're going to and from the Bulls to the Windy City Bulls, and they're really good. In fact, the Windy City Bulls just got reinforcements. They just picked up Funk, who was on the Grand Rapids Gold before, and he's a really good three-point shooter, Funk. So he was out there killing it with 5 of 10 three-point shooting for the Windy City Bulls. And then they went and got Villanova kid from the Knicks who just got cut recently, Ryan and DiConcono, the Villanova Wildcat that they expended in the drafts, the trades recently because they didn't have roster room to keep him around just for fun. Well, he's now back at Windy City, and he had his first game back last night with them off the bench. And he was providing really good veteran leadership for them. So they kind of got some reinforcements on the other side for Windy City, and it showed with Funk and Ryan showing up for them and helping them out. So there's your report on the 905 loss yesterday. Too little, too late, Eric Curry. Too little, too late. You tried, you clawed, and you fought back, and you got real close. You were right there. If you'd done things perfectly, you might have won, but too little, too late. That's the story right there. Yeah. Trevor's saying Charles Barkley, nobody cares about the Lakers and the Warriors, so stop talking about them. That's hilarious. In some ways, I kind of like the effect of the Warriors and Lakers being so low in the standings because honestly, it sets a precedent of, well, maybe teams in these areas should be covered more in the NBA. Maybe the focus of really looking at the race at the top all the time is great. Yeah, you should do that. That's the premier main event. But in a wrestling card, you got different matches. You got mid card, you got openers. And in some ways, there's entertainment and drama to be derived from the play-in, trying to get in the play-in where we are, being in the play-in and trying to get in the playoffs, like a little bit higher where Miami and teams like that are. That's what I'm saying. It's like you can go main event all the time and just talk about Celtics this or this and this, the teams that are at the top. But sometimes there's really good high drama and good television in positions where we are and where the Warriors are and where the Lakers are. And because these high caliber, high profile teams are slumming it in the standings right now, well, it sets a precedent that the NBA media should be able to cover any team at any place in the standings if they're competing for something and it's drama and it's exciting. You're only going to cover them because it's the Lakers? You're only going to cover them just because it's the Warriors? Well, in some ways, you should do that for every exciting place where people are competing for one spot and it's high drama. I mean, why wouldn't you milk it dry of all that kind of stuff, NBA and Adam Silver? It just, in some ways, that's the way I look at it from that point of view. If they're going to go and cover teams in the standings there, well, they should do all the teams like that. Oh, they're going to do the Lakers like that? Well, I've heard Charles say this the last couple of years. Why do we cover the Lakers so heavy? They don't deserve it. And he's exactly right. He's exactly right. He's exactly right. Chris is saying, so I have to say, watch last bit of the Spurs and Thunder game and Wemby. There is nothing to say. This guy has now become something never seen. He was unreal. He outplayed Chet last night, apparently. I looked at their box scores. Chet had a minus, plus minus, and Wemby had the plus, and the Spurs won. And Chet had Wemby had the better stat line. Yeah, very interesting. A lot of people trying to say, well, this proves it. The rookie of the year race, there's a clear leader. It's not as even as everybody thinks it is between Holmgren and Wembanyama. In some ways, I could understand why they do a co-rookie of the year, but if Victor just wants that prize all his own, he can separate from the pack. In some ways, a co-rookie of the year would be fun between Chet and Victor because it would kind of symbolize a new era and maybe set up a versus. And the NBA marketing may do this just to make that happen. They can make a justification even if Chet's numbers are lower than Victor's because of the standings. The Spurs are so in the bottom and Oklahoma City's up near the top. Even if Chet's numbers aren't as good as Victor's, they can make the justification to even them out because of that. So, I mean, I think it'd be smart marketing. In some ways, I know Victor's kind of like, I don't want to share this hill with anybody. I want to be king of the hill and just me. And in some ways, that may drive him for the rest of the season to really separate himself in the way it looks in the rookie of the year race. But it'll be interesting to see how the NBA handles this. In some ways, we know it's a company. We know it's a corporation. We know they're a business. And in some ways, a smart business decision is a co-rookie of the year between Holmgren and Wembanyama to set up a Bird versus Magic for the time coming. That's what I'll have to say on that. But we'll see if Victor's okay with it. He may not be. He may be like, I'm separating. All right. Monique has brought up that IQ posted on his Snapchat the Darko dinner. Now, see, I don't know is this a real Snapchat account? This is some things. There's a lot of fake shit out there these days, Monique, and I want confirmation. I don't know if that's an official account by IQ, first of all, and that could be a troll account. That we've got to be more careful in some ways about whether things are real or not at this point. Now, I don't know much about Snapchat, and I don't have it. I did not see the content other than you posting it in there. Now, I heard a woman's voice say pizza party, and they showed a pizza on the ground. They're saying it's OVO Center, and they're saying it's Emmanuel Quickly's account, but I don't know if that's his official account or not. It could be totally fabricated. So I can't say for sure that is what the Darko dinner was last night. So let's until we get absolute confirmation, I'm not going to declare that's what that was. That could have been very fake what you posted last night. Because first of all, I don't know if that's a verified Emmanuel Quickly account. I've never seen it before. I don't follow Snapchat, so it could be. But in some ways, I don't know if that's a real thing that you posted. We have to say that first. There's no official word from anybody. That's the only thing I've seen about the whole dinner last night. Some ways, maybe they did it something very private and we don't know. And somebody just filled in some bullshit that they thought was going on. I don't know. That could be really Emmanuel's account and that could be true, but I'm not verifying that at this point. I do not know if that was a real clip, just so you know, Mo. I wanted to go find some sort of other evidence to back it up, and I could not. So in some ways, it does kind of point to maybe a troll account just making some bullshit up. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I will go look at it one more time because, like, I know it is in our Facebook chat, and I'll look at it one more time and tell you why I think it may not be real. And all right, because honestly, if that is what they did, like you guys are saying, it's very disappointing. IQ on Snap. All right, all it says is OVO Athletic Center, Toronto, Ontario. First of all, are they going to do it at the practice facility? No, they're going to go to a restaurant. So that's the first red flag right there. Now it has Emmanuel Quickly's name at the top, and it does have a thumbs, a yellow thumb. So that maybe is official. I don't know. In some ways, I'm disappointed if that's what they did. Eventually, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. When more stuff comes out, we'll find out and we'll confirm it for sure. But that's the only piece of evidence of what they did last night. I'm not taking it yet. I don't believe in Snapchat. Let's just say it could be so full of shit. Snapchat can be very full of shit. All right, let's see. Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Where did Darko and the Raptors eat? I seen something about Maker's Pizza. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. I don't know if it's for real. Most saying one thing about tonight, we got to definitely hit first. Yeah. Yeah. We got to get the lead. If it's another scoring battle with a offensive minded team, well, we got to keep up with them. We kept up with the Mavericks for a good bit of time, but we stagnated at a certain point. Darko said in practice yesterday, it really was that he didn't feel like we were getting the hubs right up, right, with Olenek and Pirtle. We need the connectivity to run through those guys, and there wasn't enough of that. In fact, when I reflected more on the Mavericks game, I realized that Kelly Olynyk was a little selfish in that game. There were a couple times where he took the ball himself and tried to score. We maybe should have been passing it to other guys. And I'm sure that this was pointed out in the film yesterday that Kelly, you're a passing center. In some ways, you kind of forced your offense at times in the last game against Dallas. And we need you guys to get the assist numbers up, and you're a hub. So look for this adjustment with the Raptors tonight, trying to work more connectivity and passing among our guys. We needed more of that against the Mavs. That's one of the things he said. Let's see. Most saying, does Jonte Porter play with the big club again this season or not? I think so. Well, I mean, there's that, the 905 will end in March, and then they don't have any games for April, and we still play in April. So there's this overlap time where the NBA season continues when G League has ended, and there's a good chance that he could be playing for us near the end of the season. Also, the overlap with them being here, both teams at the same time, he could do that. Gardner drive down the lake shore to get from 905 to the Raptors and double duty. I could see Jonte. The part that will mess him up is if Darko's really, really stringently doing the 9-man rotation and nobody's busting in at this point. He has his 5 starters and he has his 4 bench, and he's just going to run with that and try and use it as much as possible because he wants to work it. That may be the one thing that holds him up from playing on the big club again. But I think he will be. I'm going to predict that Jonte Porter is going to get more minutes for the Raptors this year. Yeah. Chris is saying at Cowboy, I think Darko said no to pizza. If that is what you were getting at, and then told the team they're going out to a decent restaurant. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened. They did not divulge anything. If there's anything out there in any kind of way that y'all know, other than that IQ Snapchat that we don't know if is real or not, let me know. If you guys have breaking news on here and you find out about the dinner from last night, let me know and we will talk about it. But yeah, I didn't see any evidence. They kept it down on the down low and they kept it hidden other than that little clip that Monique got from Snapchat. And I don't know, maybe it is what they did. I don't know. I can't say for sure. In some ways, I like to have 2 pieces of evidence before I just say it's for real, and that's why I'm not validating the Snapchat yet. Let's see. Cowboys saying I got a better feeling about playing the Warriors than I did about the Mavs. Hope to hometown Barrett has a lot of fun tonight. Let's go. Yeah, it's a matchup. It's a name. It's a guy that these guys look up to. All these guys look up to him. Scotty looks up to Steph, and Marquise Noel looks up to Steph. These guys all look up to Steph because of Steph's legend, because of who he is in the history of the NBA. He revolutionized the game. He changed it. He's just such an interesting personality and person in the history of the NBA, Stephon Curry. And in some ways, when you're playing against him, there's some fun to that. In some ways, we got to cherish it and love it, because who knows how many more years some of the older players in this league will be playing still. So you really got to cherish the opportunities to get the matchups against people like Steph Curry. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Chris is saying at Mo, the greatest. Any idea where the team went to dinner? Well, it showed it at the OVO Center, or it's listed it as the OVO. Like I said, everything in today's world can be fabricated at this point. We don't know what's real unless it comes from verified sources. And people are out there making realities and bullshit up. So I don't know until I get it totally confirmed that they did a Maker's Pizza party at OVO Center last night. I won't say that they did. I've only seen one little snippet of evidence, and in some ways, it's not a trustworthy snippet or it's not a trustworthy source, is what I'm saying. So most saying, yeah, no clue, Chris. They just had the pizza at OVO. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. Chris is saying, oh, that's disappointing. I wanted them to go to a $500 plate, super suave establishment, really bleed Darko into 20,000 check. My imagination runs wild is all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they're getting. I mean, that pizza, that's disappointing. Maybe they brought the pizza for a joke and then they went out for dinner for real. We'll have to get the real story. In some ways, the details did not come out last night, and we'll just have to see. Fiercey saying, good morning, fam, and happy game day. Good morning to you, Fiercey. Yeah, Cowboys saying, really? Pizza? Really? Really? We're worth better than that. Nako saying, look like a better pizza than I would expect from delivery. Was called Maker's Pizza. But we don't know. Once again, Gerald, I'll say I'm not confirming that shit until I see another source. That's Emmanuel's real Snapchat account. Then maybe, all right, well, comes around and find out that's what they did. Okay, we'll find out. Fiercely saying, not pizza for real. Ugh, yeah. And maybe the fancy dinner will be after 5 straight wins. Well, if they get that this year, that would be fantastic. Incentive, yes. Monique saying, was everyone NBA standings watched last night? Not really. I watched the 905 game and kind of just did my own work and stuff that I normally do. And not really paying too much attention to the NBA. I did hear that the Nets had a really good night with Dennis. Dennis really playing really well, kicking some butt last night. I forget, did they play the Hawks last night? Yeah, they beat the Hawks pretty bad, 124-97. Dennis Schroeder leading the Nets to a big time win over Atlanta. I guess that kind of helps us because we do want to catch up with Atlanta, right? So where are we in the standings since you brought it up? Let me see. We're a whole full game behind the Nets because they did win last night, and we were behind them. So we're 1 game out from the 11th spot right now and 4 games out from the 10th spot. So we got some work to do. We're going to get that 10th spot in the play-in or any higher. We got to do some work. That's right. Because, see, look, the top half of the play-in has above 500. So that just tells you how much of a climb we got. Miami is 56% winning percentage right now, and the Pacers too. And they are, that means we really are going to get the bottom half of the play-in if we get up there. I don't see us getting over 500 by the end of the season. And, that means you kind of got to gauge your ceiling by that. I think the highest we could get is maybe 9th in the end if we do really well. And that will mean like, okay, Chicago and Atlanta have not been doing well at all for us to catch up. So, yeah, let's see. Cowboys saying, I really hope Lex tells us that they didn't just order Maker's Pizza to the OVO Center. I don't know, Cowboy. Let's wait, and we'll get confirmation on this. Yeah, we'll see. Jill's here. Good morning, Cowboo. Good morning. Good morning, you guys. Good morning to you, Jillian Moody. Moody's here tonight. Moody is playing for the Warriors. That's right. Moses Moody has been starting for them. He started last night for them against the Knicks. So Moody You can watch Moody tonight, Moody. Yeah. Let's see. G saying apparently IQ posted a restaurant as well. Didn't see it myself, so I think they did both. Yeah, that I think the pizza was a joke. And in some ways, IQ is like, okay, yeah, let me take a picture of this pizza party, and they're all dancing or talking about it. I think that, yeah, I'm pretty sure they went to a nice restaurant. And in some ways, they maybe want to keep these kind of things private. This may be the lesson now. I mean, this he's a rookie head coach, and I think he stepped in it when he said, "Oh, I'm going to take them out to dinner after 3 wins in a row." Well, that put a lot of pressure on the team. It made a whole media circus of jokes and talking about it. And then when it happened, okay, great. It's still kind of a thing. I think that they should just take care of this shit on the down low. Maybe I don't need to know it. Nobody needs to know it. And they can just do it and just say, guys, we're going to do this. And don't tell anybody else. Don't tell the press. Don't tell people. So fans like me know. Just do it. Just do it behind the scenes. If you have some sort of food incentive system, Darko, let's just not let it be publicly known. Just do it behind the scenes. And yeah, maybe the reward was the first part that went underground. Then we can't see anymore. There's so much on social media about our team. Trust me, I know. And there's so much out there. They can keep things still secretive, and we don't need to know every little thing. Obviously, we don't need to know everything about their private lives. And obviously, we don't maybe necessarily need to know every single little thing about the way the team operates. And the whole dinner incentive was kind of botched and fumbled and a little bit of a distraction this season. It's a rookie coach learning lesson. It is. I bet you Darko won't do shit like that ever again. He'll see that it was more of a distraction and then being helpful because the team was losing and everybody's making jokes about how they're never going to make their pizza party. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I think there was some learning in that. Let's see. Chris is saying at Fiercely, glad someone agrees that pizza is lame. It just is. I'm now really wondering about the mindset of this team. I can't see them as winners now. Very upset. Pizza, do a better job. Yeah. JJ, what are you saying? Are you doing an impression of someone? That's not actually you. I don't know. In some ways, I don't mind it. I don't think. What are you worried about their mindset? No, their mindset's in a good place right now. Let's keep it separated. This is like not all telling the tale of the Raptors, the pizza bullshit. No, this has to do with their unity, how much they're loving playing together, how much they're loving playing for their coach, and everything's fine. It looks real good. Nako saying Warriors probably aren't as good as the Mavs, but they've been good recently. They're playing very good right now. When I looked at their record since like January the 20th, they have been winning way more than they lose. Like I said, they've only lost 5 games since Draymond came back. And Draymond, they lost the first 2, he came back, and now they've only lost 3. So in a lot of ways, they're 12-3 out of their last 15. That's very good winning clip. 12-3 in their last 15, Gerald. Yeah, we need to be an aberration and take a win from them and give them a loss. Yeah, so they've been very, very good since Draymond came back from suspension. It's almost like a tale of 2 seasons. They were really, really not good in the fall last year. Now they're better this year, and they're playing at a high level right now. So we need to be watching out. Steve Kerr's smart. He saw them stagnating, and he made tough decisions like benching Clay. And he just wants to try and win with the Warriors. He's trying to utilize his roster in the best way to make winning happen. Jill saying some pizza is quite nice. It's a rustico. I won't disagree with this. I think pizza can have high quality levels. You can go to a very nice pizzeria that has like the good stuff, good quality ingredients, good quality. Not Papa John's. No, sorry, I'm not going to do their commercial. The Pizza Nova. No, none of them. No, I'm talking about they're not chains. They're like pizza family owned restaurants usually, and the family may be Italian and they really know their shit. Those kind of pizzerias where they have like their own style and they're known or something like that. Those are the best. It's not the big chains. It's not the big corporate pizza giants. No, you got to find those little like singular ones and they have character and have a style to them. And you're like, ooh, that's so good. That's what you got to find. That kind of pizza. That kind of pizza right there. Yeah. Fiercely saying it, Chris. I mean, I like pizza, but I think they wouldn't follow the narrative. Maybe he was pissed with the loss to Dallas and said, no more steak and wine. No, I don't think it's that. I think they are going to get the regular dinner. In some ways, we're talking about this too much. We'll get the details and we'll figure it all out. I like pizza too. I really do. Fiercely saying at Nako, yes, especially now that Clay and Chris are coming off the bench, deeper team. Also, I hate to admit it, but Draymond's return also helped. It has helped. He's annoying. I mean, listen, he does what he does. He's good at it. In some ways, we need to watch out for him. I love that we have Kelly Olynyk and Yaka in instances with Draymond Green. Draymond Green is a manipulator of the game. He tries to manipulate in ways that don't have to do with scoring often. It has to do with physicality. It has to do with attitude, intimidation. Well, let's not be intimidated by him. In some ways, I want to take it right to him and make him look like a clown. That's what the best recipe for how to handle Draymond Green is expose him and beat his ass. We've done that many, many times. People know the playbook on how to beat Draymond. It's just, can you get it executed? Can you get it executed? That's right. Take it to him and score on him. He's going to play dirty, play through that contact. Scotty, go at him yourself and get him in foul trouble. See if you can get him in foul trouble early. That could be a key to the win, is going at Draymond and get him in foul trouble, get him out of the game so he's not an X factor, and boom, hopefully we have a better chance to win. Dana's saying, good morning, everyone. Happy game day. Let's get this win. I'm with you, Canadian Dana. Chris is saying Green makes that team go. He is a Hall of Famer after all, one of the most odd ones, but that he's going in. Fuck that. Fuck that. I will get pissed at that because in some ways, if Michael Cooper is not in the Hall of Fame, if Danny Ainge or some sideline Celtics are not in the Hall of Fame, then in some ways I would argue Draymond Green should not be in the Hall of Fame also. I don't give a shit how many championships he has. In some ways, whatever. You know, there's a lot of other guys that like what? Is Bob Horry in the Hall of Fame? Is Robert Horry in the Hall of Fame? Like I'm just saying, in some ways he's the level like him to me. It's like if Robert Horry, who has a lot of championships with a lot of different teams, Big Shot Bob, is not in the Hall of Fame, then Draymond Green shouldn't. I don't know. If Horry's in, then yeah, Green can be in. But that's what I'm saying. If Robert Horry is in a Hall of Fame, I mean, that's the way I look at it. We got to talk about levels of how they contribute and who they are and how big they are on the team. And I'm going to poo-poo him. I'm going to put him down every way. As much as they prop him up and say all this bullshit about his dirtiness and his intelligence, his genius on defense, fuck all that shit. I'm going to poo-poo it and say it doesn't mean shit to me. Look at his scoring average. Look at his circus of distraction that he brings. Just all the bullshit that he brings. Yeah, fuck that. I'm going to poo-poo it. I'm gonna say, yeah, you're like a Robert Horry. Yeah, you're a Michael Cooper level of contributor to championships. And people are shocked what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, I'm just being a hater. Fuck him. Fuck Draymond Green. And if he makes the Hall of Fame, I'll piss on it. There you go. Yeah, Monique's like cheering me on right now. She hates Draymond too. That's right. Let's see. Nako's saying Draymond has been the second most important player of the Warriors since our chip, at least probably longer. Yeah, fuck this. Y'all keep kissing his ass. Fuck him. Tell him he's a piece of shit and get the fuck out of here. That's what I'm saying. You go ahead and say that, Nako. I'm not kissing his ass like you are. Fuck that motherfucker. Draymond Green, piece of shit. Yeah, fuck him. He don't respect our championship over them. We beat you, Draymond. You went to the finals against us and we kicked your ass, but you do not validate that because you're saying, oh, it's not a real win. It's not a real championship. Fuck you, Draymond, then. That's the whole biggest reason why I think he's a piece of shit. Is because he didn't honorably take the loss when he lost in the finals to the Raptors. He tried to make up excuses, say all this other bullshit. You should have just said, yeah, y'all beat us. Y'all beat us fair and square. Because we did. I don't give a shit if your guys were hurt. That's your own damn fault. You guys get hurt. That's your own damn fault. Draymond trying to discount our championship. So fuck Draymond Green. Yeah, right there. Fiercely saying, got to give it to Steve Kerr. He made the decision to start 2 high caliber vets off the bench. We keep discussing if Nick Nurse was going to do it for Fred when he was in a slump, but he wouldn't. Yeah, I wanted him to start bringing Fred off the bench last year, but it wasn't possible with egos and money that people are making and different things like that. In some ways, it may have been a very good look for us. It could have saved that unit, honestly, if we had gotten Fred to go to the bench and kind of do a Dennis role last year. It's not that Scotty should have been the starting point guard, although that probably would have naturally happened. David St. Curry had 8 rebounds in the first quarter. Laugh out loud. That's pretty crazy. Well, what's going on, Precious? Why weren't you rebounding? Precious kind of had a dud game last night. Yeah, he had a little bit of a dud game. He wasn't scoring very well. He only got 3 points. In some ways, Precious doesn't find the basket on certain nights, which is too bad. First is saying accountability matters. That's right. Accountability matters. Cowboy saying, good morning, Jill. Good morning to Jill from Cowboy. David saying, even if Chris wasn't sick, he likely wouldn't be playing all that much. It makes sense what they're doing We know exactly why we get what we get from Boucher, which is why they love him. Yeah, he's in some ways, like I said, he's like Garrett. You have different parts of your career. He's made it. He's a vet. People value him being on NBA teams. Just because he doesn't play doesn't mean jack shit. I hate how the press makes starting so important in everybody's minds. I hate how they ask those questions and they make it such a sword to like cut and dice at the team. Oh, you're not starting anymore. Oh, you got taken out of the starting lineup. Oh, all this bullshit. I hate it. These guys play in the NBA. If you're in the rotation of 9 that get to play, you're getting to play. In some ways, the distinction of whether Gary Trent or Bruce Brown Jr. started is not a big deal. It really, really isn't. It's just these fucking media people have trained the public and fans to care about who starts and who doesn't way more than it should. Honestly, I'm so sick of the starting bullshit. In some ways, the stuff that's happening around the Warriors with Klay Thompson is hilarious because I see it and it's so overblown and overbuzzed. Who cares? That man's making $30 million to come off the bench in the NBA. His life is fine. Oh, boo hoo hoo, poor Klay Thompson that he got relegated to the bench. I don't feel sorry for him. He's getting older, and maybe he isn't starter caliber anymore. But I'm just saying the whole idea of romancing and like a lot of the younger fans just like, oh, if you don't start, you're nobody. That's the stupidest shit that I hear all the time. People overvalue the idea of starting or not starting, and it makes me. This annoys the hell out of me. It really does. Yeah, I don't know if Chris is going to play again. He's a Garrett Temple now. He might as well be sitting in Thad Young or Otto Porter's spot on the bench at this point. Jalen McDaniels, same thing. Same thing. Those guys are just there just in case. We need more people in. They're training with the team. They got to stay ready, but they're not getting active time on the court. They're doing a lot of stuff in practices, I'm sure, but they're not getting time on the court. That's just what happens in the NBA. There's only a certain amount of minutes to give everybody. Coach wants to do what he's doing. He's going to do what he's doing. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Game day. Going to be an exciting matchup of Scotty and Kuminga for the NBA machine. Yeah, I don't want to marquee that matchup. That's not thrilling to me. Why does everybody think Kuminga is so great? Like, seriously, why does everybody bring up Jonathan Kuminga and this and that and this? To me, he's just not that far off from being like his buddy that's already gone, Wiseman. In some ways, he's like, I get it. He starts, he's kind of working out for the Warriors, but in some ways, I feel like he's overhyped. I really do. I think people talk too much about Kuminga. I think that he's not anywhere near the level of Scotty, and it's insulting, Cool Cat, that you said a Scotty versus Kuminga matchup. What? He's way below Scotty. No. In some ways, I would rather you say Scotty versus Draymond than Scotty versus Kuminga. Because in some ways, that's the matchup that kind of matters more. Is Scotty maybe playing the mental games and the attitude and the physicality games with Draymond? Maybe it's like Draymond wants to be the big dog. Well, Scotty, come in there and show him you could be the big dog. And maybe, his smarts, you could show him something about your talent with your smarts and your combination of athleticism and size and speed and strength. I don't know. That's not an exciting marquee matchup for me. You gonna frame it that way? Okay, not that doesn't get me to want to watch the game. No, not that one. No, it doesn't. You start talking to me maybe about IQ versus Steph matchup. Ooh, that's fun to watch. That's fun to watch. Yeah, but no, Kuminga versus Scotty, boring. I love Scotty, but in some ways, I'm not gonna give Kuminga that status. Fiercely saying Darko did it first for Dennis. It does hurt the ego, but maintaining a team first mentality demonstrates professionalism. I'm not totally sure what you mean. Darko did it first for Dennis. It does hurt the ego. Oh, bringing people off the bench or benching them. I mean, it is what it is. The NBA, these guys got to be ready for this. It's going to happen to them at some point in their career. Every single player at some point may get benched at some point. I don't even care if you're LeBron or Scotty. There's something that's going to happen. You're going to have during your career at some point that everybody has to experience. And it's how you handle it that will tell how professional you are, honestly. Gary Trent Jr., very professional. Dennis Schroeder, very professional. Yeah. Klay Thompson, not so professional. He was throwing shit in the locker room after they told him, acting like a whiny little bitch. Like, oh, you're taking me out of the starting lineup, Steve Curry. You start throwing trash cans in the locker room. That's what I'm saying. There's different levels of professionalism with taking a benching. And in some ways, Klay Thompson acted out like a toddler when they benched him this year. That's really a good look for a 4-time champion that's been in this league for almost 15 years. You fucking dumbass. Seriously, at this point, you're like that. Oh, it's his compete level. He's just so upset that he's not starting more. He's still an idiot. I can tell you right now what Klay Thompson's problem is. He's an alcoholic. Yeah, I'm going to say that right now. That motherfucker has a drinking problem on the down low, and that's why he's on the bench right now. If that dude is drinking right now, he needs to stop, because I've seen alcoholic tendencies in him when he did this championship parade with the Warriors. He's getting drunk and losing shit all over the place, and he's just filthy, stupid ass drunk that whole summer. He may have turned himself into an alcoholic when the Warriors won their last championship because he partied too hard that summer. And every single time I saw him in any social media for that whole summer, he was absolutely shit-faced drunk. So I'm just going to say that. I think Klay Thompson has an alcohol problem on the down low. And that's part of the reason why he's declining as a player, is because he can't say no to alcohol. He doesn't think he has an alcohol problem, but he really fucking does. I'm going to tell you that right now. Seriously. And listen, I shouldn't be doing this as a member of AA, but listen, it's very public, bro. It's very public. I saw you at the championship parade for the Warriors. I think you've got an alcohol problem. I think that's the issue with what's going on with his career and the downturn. I think that him getting hurt in recent years has made him depressed. Him getting hurt has made him wonder if he'll ever get to the level he could. And I think that on the down low, he's a miserable fuck, and he's drowning his sorrows in alcohol in his private time. Yeah, I'm a fan. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I'm not a journalist. I'm not ESPN. I'm not anything. I can just speculate. I can make that. I can say that because it's what it looks like to me that Klay Thompson is having a drinking problem right now. And that's part of the problem right now. Yeah. On the download, that may very well be it. Seriously. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, glad the team had a fine dining outing. The pizza stuff came from fans twisting the entire narrative. Yeah, I want confirmation of that. We'll have to see it. For sure. Blackhawks got RJ on blast. I love it, man. RJ is my guy, Blackhawk. He's so good, man. I'm so proud and happy to have RJ representing the Raptors in our jersey now. Cowboys saying, hope Chris gets better, but David is right. We know what Boucher is. I love the guy, but let's see what the Young Bucks can do. Hope to see some DJ Carton tonight. There you go. I like that. Stargate saying, Luca, I'm fouling in love with you, girl. I'm fouling in love with you. That's pretty funny. All right, Stargate. I'll give you a dunk for your Luca song, I guess. I'm not even sure what that's in reference to. That's funny. I'm fouling in love with you. Is that a joke I made yesterday? Fiercely saying, I used to play double dutch a lot when I was younger, kind of telling on my age. Listen, I don't know. Is there people that still do double dutch out there? I mean, you don't see it anymore. It seemed like it was such a 70s thing. Like it was always in little clips on Sesame Street. I'd be like, oh, they're double dutching on Sesame Street when I was a little kid. I'd see it there. But yeah, it seemed like it was a very like a thing kind of from that decade and into the 80s. But I don't really remember like a lot of double dutch in the 90s and so on afterwards. I'm sure there's people that still compete in it and still do it, and it's still around, but it's definitely not at the forefront, and you don't see it very much. Let's see. Cowboy saying, what's her Stargate? That's her Stargate. Let's go, Ashley. Oh, you're talking about Ashley loves Luca. Well, thank God we're not playing Dallas tonight. Yeah, thank God. Tom's got the food for the refs. There's the sushi for Brian Forte. Looks like he's got some good connie and a little bit of tuna. That's a weird little scallop sushi. And there's this just raw squid. Yummy. And he even brought the chopsticks for him today. And then we got Mexican food for Ashley, I guess. There's a taco, a burrito, and a hot pepper. And then for Derek, we've got what did Derek want again? He wanted gumbo. Yeah, so that's the gumbo in the plate. Good job, Tom. Looks like you got everybody just right. Hopefully the referees will treat us right also. Good stuff. Let's go, Tom Duke, with your emoticon food. No calories. Very, very good for you. No calories, no filler. Cowboys saying Tom Duke's in the house. Let's go. That's right. 8 wins is doable. 8 wins in March. That's what I want, Raptors. That's the Raptor-free goal I'm putting in front of y'all. You got 15 games. Let's get 8 wins out of the 15. Be a winning month, 8-17 at least, and get 8 wins. Get to 30 wins by the end of March. Let's do it. Let's get out of the 20s. I want y'all climbed out of there by the end of this month. Let's go. That's right. Tom's saying our second unit makes the difference for us. Okay. All right. For the W's, I agree. Cowboys saying, can't wait for the open coach thing. What's going on? Who's going? Let me see. Okay, so Tommy has put the link for the coaches open house to sign up. Yeah, a lot of us are going, Cowboy. A lot. Now Stevie's telling me he's bringing some girl, his boss. He's bringing a bunch of people too. So the group just keeps growing. And then Monique's messaged me something about what Evelyn's doing, and I'm like, "What? Wait, what is Evelyn doing?" Evelyn, if you're listening to me right now, whatever you're doing, I mean, you trying to do some secretive special thing for us at the thing. I won't tell you not to, but I mean, you don't have to, Evelyn. You're so sweet and amazing. And whatever you're trying to do right now, asking questions with Monique, okay, go ahead. But maybe talk to me about it too. Because you're always doing things as a surprise. And I love them. They're amazing. I'll just let you surprise me. How about that? I'll just let her surprise me. I love you, Granny Swag. Chris is saying, "Hey, Tom," and "Hey, boys. Morning, boys." There's the Mug Brothers in effect. Look at those guys. All the Mug Brothers here. Let's see. Stargate saying, "Jonte is really working hard to be on the team. Like to see that. Freeman Liberty can kick rocks. Don't want him anywhere near the big team after those comments early in the season." Yeah, yeah, it's not the right way to set the tone. In some ways, you can get exactly what you want, Javon. You want a platform, you want to look good with us, and then move on, go right ahead. Go right ahead. In some ways, I never really realistically thought about him on the Raptors after those comments. And honestly, I don't, like I said, I'll stand by it. I don't think he's the type of player that makes the NBA with that skill set. I mean, he can be very impressive on the G League, but when we saw him play in the regular NBA, he had a really hard time. He struggled getting anything done with his size. It's not like he went up and played in his first NBA game and just lit it up like he does in G League. It's the thing. A lot of things don't translate from league to league. It just doesn't. In a lot of ways, a lot of his game doesn't translate to the upper league. It just doesn't. Let's see. Cowboys saying, "True, Stargate. Where's Noel? He's still hurt. He's still hurt. We need to get him back, and that'd be awesome." Chris is saying Chet is a great player, maybe a better team player, but Wemby is so huge. It's a level never seen before. Roy for sure now. Well, I want to see how they handle this, Chris. I think co-rookies is smart. I would do that. But if Victor really wants that achievement by himself, he can go separate himself by the end of this year. Part of it is Spurs have to do better in winning, but also if his stats just are arm and a leg above Chet's stats, well, he should get the rookie of the year. He should get the rookie of the year on his own. Mo's saying, yes, it is, Lex. I'm not totally sure. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Fiercely saying, I have Snapchat and barely use it, but I believe my contacts are those who get invites. Unless Mo has IQ's number, lucky you, Mo. I think like she may have saw somebody else find it and post it. That's why the reliability of it is really tough to question. Snapchat is not an official place to get information from. I've never, ever taken anything that I've talked about on the show from Snapchat. And that's why I don't think it's a reliable platform. So we don't know for sure. It could be real. It could maybe not be real. I don't know. I want confirmation by a secondary source, is what I'm saying. So, yeah. Fiercely saying, can we just follow a celebrity without having their number? I don't know how it works. I don't know how Snapchat works either. And that's why I can't say if I know this is real or not. So, Kareem saying, this is our third straight game on facing teams on a back-to-back. These small things need to be taken advantage of. I agree. We didn't get it so well against Dallas, but we did against Indy. Maybe we can do it tonight. I think the Knicks really did tire them out to a degree. We got to remember a lot of the main Warriors players are older. And it's not as ideal to play these back-to-back games as older players in the league like Draymond and Clay and Steph. Yeah, in some ways, the olderness of the important players on the Warriors can be a factor in a fatigue on the second night of a back-to-back. In fact, maybe I should go look at their injury list again and see if there's anybody that's changed on there. It's like it could very well be that some of the older Warriors are more probable or questionable because of the back-to-back. We'll have to see. Let's see. No. Tom Duke saying Michael Grungy made up the whole pizza debacle. Yeah. It's really a mischaracterization from a dumb joke in a press conference in the fall where, well, if the team's getting dinner, what do we get? And Darko said, oh, you guys get pizza party. And then Michael Grange went off on that. It was a question by Grange or something like that. That's why that came from. The pizza party was for the press. The fine dining was for the team. And Raptors insiders like us know it. And casuals, they are under the other interpretation of things. Trevor J saying, Lex, you're right. Somebody I know who's a Snapchat savvy told me that's a fake account. See? This is the thing. In this world today is more important than ever. to take everything with a very, very um, you got to really be suspicious. AI and fakery is coming, and everybody it can be fooled at any time. They're going to be fooling us with voices that sound like people. They're going to be fooling us with images that look like people. Deep fake AI images are already a reality. You can take somebody's face and put it on somebody else's face in a picture, and it looks pretty realistic. In some ways, you can AI prompt so many different things at this point where you just type in something and an AI picture will be made. And there's a lot of AI pictures out there that are getting distributed on the internet that people think are real. They look so real that they like, oh, that looks real. It's not real. Like there was something that a friend of mine posted this week of children's beds, like that were fun, and one was a ladybug bed, and it's harmless. It looks cute. In some ways, I know why somebody would make that because they want somebody to show somebody like an idea of what you could do with a cool children's bed. But the images were AI. I could tell. They had a glow to them. They had too much of a perfect with all the details on the shelves with the toys and everything, and it was just too perfect. And I was like, that's an AI image. But people on her profile were saying, that's beautiful. Where can I buy one? I said, well, you can't because that is not real. You cannot buy one of these little ladybug beds for your children because that's an AI image and it doesn't exist. That's the thing. We're going to have to really, really figure out what's AI and what isn't because they're going to try and fool us in all kinds of ways. They're going to try and distort reality going forward. And that's what I'm saying. Take everything with a grain of salt unless you know it is verified or real. Do not believe it unless it's real. And Trevor's saying, yeah, anything on Snapchat can be bullshit. I will not take anything from Snapchat as being real. They can have Emmanuel Quickly's name there with a check. It could be somebody paid for that just to have some fakery. Or maybe you could just put the check in and act like you're Emmanuel Quickly. That's another problem with online. Since Elon Musk fucked up Twitter with blue checks, the check system doesn't matter anymore. If you see a check next to somebody's name on anywhere on the internet, it doesn't matter anymore because somebody could have bought that check and made that fucking fake ass account. So it's just going to get so much harder. We know the people we can trust as far as reporters and news sources. Those are the places we go and find information from because other sources are not good anymore, is what I'm saying. AI and fakery is on the rise, and everybody needs to be ready for it and know how to suss it out and know what is what and what is real and what is not, because it's just going to get worse, y'all. Seriously, it's just going to get worse. We're just on the edge of it. And I can already see what's coming. There's going to be all kinds of fucked up bullshit that happens because people were mistaken with something fake online. And this is an election year. Oh my God. Oh my God. Until they regulate certain things with it, it's going to be a Wild West. We are literally living in cowboy time in the frontier West. When you see old cowboy movies where there's like no rules and there's a sheriff and everything's kind of haphazard and just kind of fly by night. Well, we're kind of living in that kind of society online right now. It's the Wild West when it comes to AI and regulation and everything like that. They're going to have to step in some doo-doo holes real quick, mess up, step in some shit because some controversy or some fucked up shit happens. And then all of a sudden the government will react and say, well, we have to regulate this because this is a problem. People died because of misinformation online. That's what I'm saying. So this is going to be a weird battle. All right. I really got on a riff there. Cowboys saying Kareem's in the house. Hope you and your son had a great birthday. Warriors versus Raptors is most watched. Let's get the W. That wasn't his son. That was his friend who passed, unfortunately. Cowboy that we were talking about yesterday. Stargate saying his daddy named him Wardell. I'm going to call him Wardell. Yeah, that's actually his first name, right? Wardell Stephon Curry. Yeah. Yeah, he's Wardell. Wardell, just like Dell Curry, Wardell Curry. Yeah. In some ways, Steph is our dude. I love Steph Curry. Listen, I hate most of the Warriors. I hate Klay Thompson. I hate Draymond Green, but I love Steph Curry. Steph Curry is like family to me. Steph Curry is a Raptor, a legacy player. Del Curry is one of my favorite Raptors from back in the day. I love Del Curry's sweet stroke when he played for the Toronto Raptors. Oh, man, he was one of my favorites. I had his poster on my wall. Del Curry was on my wall 25 years ago when he played for the Raptors. A poster of Del, Steph's dad. And in some ways, I love Steph Curry. His success, who he is, I love him. His personality, everything about Steph is cool. In some ways, he's honorarily a Toronto person, honorarily a Canadian, married a Canadian woman. So yeah, I have no hate for Steph. I am in awe of him. I really do celebrate and have a lot of respect for what he's accomplished in his career and the how he changed the game. But yeah, he's the dude I like. I like Wiggins too. I like the Canadian connection guys on the Warriors. Those other guys can fuck off. I have a lot of respect for Looney. I like Looney. Looney's a tough fighting guy. In some ways, he's kind of in the middle. But yeah, I hate Thompson and Green. I love Curry and Wiggins. That's kind of where I'm at with their team. Yeah. Yeah. David saying Grange is a moron. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to give you a dunk for that. That's just a real simple truth right there. Grange is a moron. That's right. Peter, you're getting a dunk for that. Or no, David, you're getting a dunk for that. That's not Peter. That's David. You're getting the brothers mixed up. Don't do that. Don't do that. How's Peter doing, by the way? All right, let's see. Chris is saying just to highlight how good both Wemby and Chet are. Chet Holmgren is the fastest Thunder player to reach 1,000 points, 59 games to do it. And Russell Westbrook did it in 64 games. That is actually a really telling stat. That is crazy. Honestly, that is crazy. Holy crap. That is a really good stat, Chris. That is a really, really good stat. Wow. Let's see. Randolph's here. Good game day blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks. Most informative gang. Every game serves as a building block for the future of this team that will be a force to be reckoned with next year and beyond. Well, let's make it a little bit of a force to be reckoned with for the end of the season. It's not too early. We can do it. We can do it now. So let's make some waves. Playing excellently and superbly and successfully. Yeah, Kareem saying, Neon Moon, it wasn't my son's birthday, my boy's birthday, not my actual son. Good looking out. Jill saying Michael Grungy. I like that. Jill, you dissing Michael Grange. Y'all are going to get dunks for that. So, Jill, you getting a dunk. Michael Grungy. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. The 90s era music. Let's see. Cowboys saying, shit, my bad. I get it. It's all good. Kareem saying, you know the video clips of Shaq and Kobe where the camera pans from the shoes going up? That's literally me and Cowboy. Alley-oop to you. All right, we'll give Cowboy an alley-oop back. For sure. Cowboy is a good dude. It's TGIF. I'm sure he's got a work site he's got to go do, and hopefully he's going to get off for the weekend. Hopefully have some good times this weekend with his family. Chris is saying, Green is a Hall of Famer. I don't like it much either. He does set great screens, haha, but he's going to hurt people otherwise. Tonight, I say we use Grady to rough him up and see if Grady has the nerve. Well, is that a fair match? I don't know. The experience and the size and the muscle of Green might beat up Grady. I don't want to do that. It's like it sounds like you're throwing dick to the lion's den, and I don't want to do that. No. Listen, I will begrudgingly respect Draymond Green, but nah, I'm not going to. I've decided I'm not going to. Fuck him. In some ways, listen, I already kind of begrudgingly respected him, but with his recent violent mixtape, I have no respect for him anymore. In some ways, if nobody in the NBA is going to treat this the way they should, I'm going to do it as a one man on my own. And there may be other people that have the same feelings as me, standing in the same way. But if the NBA is going to poo-poo his violence, act like it's not a big deal, and continue to keep him a golden boy and the broadcast and all this, I deny him in every single way. Fuck him. He's not a Hall of Famer. He's a piece of shit. He's just a thug on the court getting paid to beat people up and kick people and stomp people and hit people in the face. I don't have any respect for that. You know how many people in this league could be as good as him if they were allowed to do the things he's allowed to do? I mean, just imagine Beef Stew if they unleashed him and allowed him to play like Draymond Green. Seriously, how dangerous would that be? Seriously, how dangerous would that be? That they just let a couple of power forwards on every team play like Draymond. If those were the rules, kind of like in roller derby. You got the jammer, you got the blockers, you got this. Let's make a new position. The dirty, violent position where you get one power forward that's allowed to do the dirtiest shit like Bill Laimbeer and fuckers from past in the day. And Draymond's that guy because he's the only one who gets it in the league right now. And in some ways, that's them propping him up and allowing him to be dirty and nobody else to be dirty. That's the thing I don't like about him. He plays by special rules. People that play by special rules in the league, I hate them. LeBron and Draymond. They get special rules called for them. I can't respect that. I can't say he's a genius on defense when the referees build half his legend for him. Yeah, no, I can't. I'm sorry. You're a better man than me, Chris, to admit that he's a Hall of Famer. I will still not do it. And if he gets it, I'll be like, you're giving this guy that kind of accolade for what he did in the league. Yeah, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. That's what I will say. Fiercely saying bubble chip was a joke. Our 2019 chip was legit. Shut up, Draymond. Yeah, the Lakers chip in the bubble was given to them and really manufactured just to make Lakers time with LeBron okay. They had to get that one in the back bucket just for sure. Because honestly, if he never won a championship with the Lakers, it would be an absolute fail. They had to make sure he'll get at least one, and that may be the only one they get. Yeah, I think it will be, honestly. Wayne saying Draymond is the key and Curry is getting into his groove. Jama's game plan should be the impetus for us again. If it's a shootout, Grady should be working overtime tonight. Yeah, I love. I mean, in some ways, I don't want to see a shootout with the Splash Brothers, but at the same time, it's high entertainment, especially if we're hitting ours. If Gary, Grady, and the other guys can hit threes tonight on a regular basis to try and keep up with the barrage that comes from Steph, well, that it could be a very entertaining game in that way. But in some ways, that's not the game plan for us. It's not smart to get in shootouts with the teams we've been playing this week. I didn't agree with it with the Mavs. In some ways, how high scoring the game was on Wednesday was no good. We need to come down to earth. There need to be some defense at some point, if not for just one quarter of the game. But there wasn't at all. In some ways, and that's the difference between Indiana this week and Dallas, is at some point during the Indiana game, we did find defense for a while, and that was a factor in how we ended up on top. Well, we got to find defense at some point against the Warriors tonight if we're going to have a chance. Now, maybe they go stagnant a little bit, but we help them by really coming at them, point of attack defense, and stymieing them. No open shots, run at all of them. One of the new things that they're talking about around the NBA that defenders are doing is the high five defense. Y'all want to know what that is? I've learned about this just recently. In the NBA rule book, you're allowed to high five the shooter. So some defenders, including Dylan Brooks, this is actually a technique he's using very extensively right now, is when a shooter shoots a three-pointer, you can run at them, just don't touch them. The one place you can touch them is after they release the shot, you can actually high-five their hand on the way through. So this is something Dylan's been doing. He doesn't get fouls called on him for it because the NBA refs will look at it and say, well, you have hand-on-hand contact, like a high five, after the shot is released. That is not considered a foul. That's very interesting to me. So some of the players in the league are now using this high five defensive technique where they run at the defender, they don't touch them, they coming at them, and they try to get a target of hitting their hand as a high five after they release the shot. It's timing, and it's been effective at screwing up people's shots. So watch out for this. It's in vogue in the league. Dylan Brooks has been doing it a lot, and other players are mimicking it already. So watch out for the high five defense. Apparently, you can hit somebody on the hand like a high five after the shot's released, and it won't be called a foul. So, yeah, let's keep going. Let's see. Jill saying, respectfully, that pizza video posted looks awful. It is in cardboard box, and the video quality looks quite bad. Yeah, I have no idea if it's real or not. That's the whole thing. And I get confirmation, and that was the pizza party that they had last night, then I'll say it. But I can't tell you that's for sure. Kareem saying, I'm okay to suspend Scotty Barnes 5 games for knocking out Draymond tonight. It's about time Green is on the other end of his shenanigans. Not Scotty. I mean, pick somebody else. Why don't we bring in Jordan Wara just for a second? Let's just bring Jordan Wara in just for real quick, like for a minute, Darko. Put Jordan Wara in there. He can do this. We don't need to lose Scotty for 5 games to do this, Kareem. Chris is saying, watching Precious, and it's the same. He just doesn't have the finish. He can rebound. He's a true garbage man out there, and that's a compliment, a JYD type. Good bench piece, but I don't miss him. I miss him. I definitely miss him. I think that he's awesome. I think that he's such a good defensive player that honestly, man, I wish we still had him. He is my biggest regret. In some ways, I miss him more than OG. I knew OG was going to go. But in some ways, I didn't want to have Precious in that deal also. When I saw, all right, it was a wave of emotion. In fact, it was on the stream. When I saw the OG deal, when it happened, I was like, okay, OG's going. That's sad. But we knew that was going to happen. And then I saw Malachi was in the deal. And I was like, yes, y'all saw my reaction. I was like, Malachi got traded. And I started dancing. And then I saw the third name involved. And I was down. I was sad after that. When I saw Precious was also, and I was like, oh, man, why is Precious in this deal also? Man, that sucks. Nah, I miss him. I miss him. And I think he's a very good player. He's going to continue to get better and better in the next couple of years. And I mean, I see what you're saying. He has on and off games. He had an off game last night offensively. But there's so much stuff he does with rebounding and defense and shots that he's so valuable, so valuable. Yeah, Jill saying impetus, impetus, impetus. Yeah, impetus. Cowboy saying alley oop to Kareem. Sick him, Scotty. Yeah, I don't like that idea. I'm not encouraging that. No, no alley oop. Jill saying, yeah, I want a shirt saying Moses Moody. You should get the jersey. Get the Warriors jersey of Moody, and it's the same last name as you, and you can be cool. No, forget that, Jill. Go to Center Sports and get a custom made Raptors jersey and just put your name on it. Just put Moody on a Raptors jersey. It doesn't have to be a Moses Moody. It could be a Jillian Moody. That's the best Moody jersey. Get your own jersey. Forget about Moses. And just get the Raptor one. And you can put your favorite number on there too. Whatever number you want. That's right. Fiercely saying, I disagree, Lex. Kuminga is way better than Wiseman. Well, I haven't seen him in a bit. I know that Kuminga has done better, obviously, if he's starting for them and he's still around. But they were in a weird kind of same limbo for a little bit where they were kind of both kind of like they're very good young prospects, but where are they going? Where are they going with their careers? I think Kuminga's been salvaged at this point. Obviously, Wiseman's long gone. Yeah, I don't know. They were in the same boat for a while. I know the last time we saw the Warriors, Kuminga looked pretty good, but still, I'm not giving them any credit. I'm going to do what the other teams do to us. Yeah, Scotty Barnes, he's no good. Whatever, Scotty Barnes. You guys got RJ. RJ sucks. That's what people say to us. So I'm just doing it back to the other side. Yeah, Kuminga sucks. Who is he? He's nobody in this league. That's right. It's the same action. They unfairly downgrade our guys the way they do it. I'm going to do it the other way. Sure. That's part of what I'm doing here, just so you know. Let's see. Cowboys saying, no, Jillian, just get Miss Moody. That's right. Get your own number. Mo's saying, hit the like and subscribe button. The best Raptor Freak crew there is. There you go, Mo. I love you. I know that, listen, Mo, it's not anything about you with that clip. I'm glad you brought it to us, and I wanted to see it. It's just I have to be very skeptical. I really, really do. Because like I said, there's a lot of weird shit out there these days. And we'll figure it all out together in the future. If there is weird stuff people are putting out there and it may not be real and it may be fake, we'll talk about it and we'll figure it out. Now, this could be a real clip. I'm not saying it isn't for sure. It could be a real clip and you may be exactly bringing us the real truth, but I don't know in some ways. And it's nothing to do with you. You have the best intentions. You think you found it, but we don't know. I want to get confirmation. Kareem saying, cool thing about being the only team outside of America is that Canadian players eventually want to come home. It's a resurrection, new life. That said, bring Wiggins home. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I don't want him to come back right at the end of his career. In some ways, he's not the kind of player that you want near the end of his career as far as he's a vet. He's an athletic player. He has to be athletically good. And if he's coming at the end of his career, he's probably washed. And he may not have the kind of veteran know-how like a Kyle Lowry would in his older years that's valuable for a team, because athletic players, when they lose their athleticism, they lose what they're good about in the league sometimes. That's why it's good to be a cerebral player, because sometimes you can play longer into your older age because your body doesn't give out on the talent level. You can still compete at a certain level. So that's the one thing I would say about Wiggins. And maybe why it may not be a good idea to bring Wiggins home at some point near the end of his career. Milbester saying, why would alcohol be an issue with Clay? It's just he's not the same level since the injuries. I'm telling you, Milbester, I've watched Klay Thompson in his off time. And every time I see him somewhere outside, he's drunk. And I know as an alcoholic myself, the signs of alcoholism. I'm trained to see them. And I'm telling you, the way he's drunk is not normal. He's drunk to the point where he's miserable drunk. It's not like celebratory drunk. Even when he was drinking during the championship parade for the Warriors, he was miserable drunk. He wasn't celebratory drunk. There's different kinds of drunks. Sometimes drunks are very happy and cheery and just jubilant and celebratory. That is a lot of ways people celebrate. But he was miserable drunk during a celebration. And that's a sign of alcoholism. Now, it could be very well the injuries and being out and the sadness and depression is what fed him drinking so much. I'm just telling you, he has a drinking problem. And you may not think it, Milbester, and I may be wrong. I may be out of pocket for saying this, but I'm speculating something that I saw and I truly believe is true. I may be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll apologize to Clay. But if he does have a drinking problem, he needs to get help. He needs to get help. If he's drinking alcohol in his life right now, he probably needs to stop. Because I've seen the signs of an alcoholic in the way he's drank in the last 2 years. Let's just put it that way. I've seen the signs. Milbester, I love you. Nick's freak. How you doing, my guy? How you doing, my guy? Yeah, he's not the same level on the injuries, and that makes him sad and depressed. He drinks. That's the byproduct of the injuries. It's like, oh, I can't be the same level I was. I'm so depressed. I'm gonna pick up the bottle. I think that's what's going on with him. Seriously. He may be getting drunk on his off time and you don't even know it. He may have gotten drunk last night after the loss, after the win over the Knicks. Chris is saying, I think Draymond is unbeatable in a fight. He is extremely strong, but also he is totally crazy. And that's always a winner. Laugh out loud. But the take on Clay, I think it's just the water and tear, the wear and tear. No, I'm telling you, I saw the way he was drunk. It's an alcoholic. I don't want to talk about this too much. I have my own personal beliefs. If you guys don't agree with me, that's fine. But we'll see down the road. If he ever talks about having an alcohol problem in his later life, yeah, you'll know that I was right. You seriously. It may be in a memoir someday. It's like, man, I was in such a bad place with alcohol. You guys don't understand. Athletes can have alcohol problems. Vin Baker destroyed his career with his alcoholism. Keon Clark, very active alcoholic while he's playing, drinking a liter of gin or vodka every halftime when he played for the Raptors. So, you can mask alcoholism in an NBA career. In some ways, Charles Barkley was an alcoholic while he was playing. Seriously, he was drunk every night and drinking and abusing alcohol his whole entire career. So, it is what it is. If you misuse alcohol, you're an alcoholic. That's just the damn truth. Seriously, some people at the alcohol schools, I know because I went to many of them. I went to DUI school like 6 times, y'all. I've learned everything about alcohol. It says some of the DUI teachers used to tell us if you've ever gotten out of control drunk, in some ways that's alcoholism. Seriously, it's a slippery slope. I'm telling you right there. Telling you right there. Fiercely saying, Lex, when giving your opinion, say allegedly so you don't have the same issues as Chev in reference to Clay. I don't know. I'm not worried about this stuff. In some ways, if somebody's really fine-tuned combing through my content, there's so many hours, there's so many things I say, so be it. If I butt into this, you're right. I probably should say allegedly. Well, I already said I don't know if what I'm talking about for sure. I'm just looking from the outside in. That's all. I'm just looking from the outside in. Stargate saying, laugh out loud. Lex don't know the Luca Ashley connection. Yeah, I've seen it actually. I remember it now. I didn't know it from that line. But I do remember her making like googly eyes at him. Yeah, I remember something like that. She's like, they caught her on camera making like some face like she's like in awe of him. It's very weird. Kareem saying, I did double Dutch in 95 in grade 5, but when I was in high school, double Dutch involved lots of weed. That's awesome. And that's the kind of information I need right there. Thank you, Kareem. I think that I might go start a double Dutch team later today because I feel like I'm in the culture already. So yeah, if that's what the culture is, there's a lot of weed involved in double Dutch these days. All right, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Fiercely saying at Kareem, how can you focus while doing it? That would be hilarious to watch. I'm the opposite. I find that when I smoke weed, I get in the zone. In fact, that's part of the reason why I work when I'm on it is because I really get into a zone. I clear my head and I can really focus on one thing. It's a very interesting thing how it affects different people in different ways. Let's see. Cowboys saying, Granny Swag, you're the best Canadian in the world. I love that lady. That's right. Canadian Granny Swag. Let's see. Also, Stargate saying, careful with that comment about Clay, Lex. Chev got struck for saying things like that. All right. I'll be careful. I allegedly think that Clay is an alcoholic. I'll allegedly think that. I do not know it's for sure. I cannot say for sure. I'm not a credentialed reporter. I am not somebody who works for a major corporation putting out media. No, I am an independent broadcaster who has his own opinions and they're strictly his own. And I apologize if there's any indemnity or hurt towards anyone with my comments. I say it with good naturedness as someone who has the disease himself, that if you are having issues, Clay, go get help. That's what I'm saying it for right there. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see. Fiercely saying with all the edits he does after break in his news fake stories, Snapchat would be perfect for him. His breaking stories. Yeah. Okay. For who? Which for Chev? For who? I'm not sure. Jill saying, Kareem, bring Wiggins home, bring SGA home, bring Nebhard home, bring Mathurin home. Yeah. Yeah. More Canadians on the team's great, but I don't know if we can get that whole wish list. That seems unrealistic. Wayne saying, sorry, freaks, Jillian, kind of bad verbiage in between class exam. It's all good. Wayne, you're good with the What was the word you used earlier? It was great. Impetus or something. I don't know. Fiercely saying Bruce Brown said they aim to reach the play-in and then anything can happen. He referenced Miami Heat as an example last season. I like and respect that attitude. It shows me they're trying. Bruce Brown was interesting in his interview yesterday. He talked about being in the play-in for the Nets 2 years ago and that experience of being in the play-in and winning the play-in game. That's another thing that's kind of cool about Bruce Brown. He has a varied experience as an NBA vet. He's won a championship with the Nuggets, and he has a play-in experience game of victory. So this could be very valuable at the end of the year if we do get a play-in game, having Bruce on our team because he knows what to expect and he knows what it takes. Yeah, I thought that interview with Bruce was weird. In some ways, he was a little weird with his energy. Some people were characterizing Bruce as not really caring or not really committed to the Raptors, the way he was kind of fidgeting and kind of acting. I don't know. I don't read that far into it. He seems like he's with it. He seems like he understands, like he said, he's going to do whatever Masai says. If he trades me, I get traded. If he wants me to stay and work with the Raptors, I'll stay and work with the Raptors. And that's all Bruce is doing. So, yeah, I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. And yeah, referencing the Miami Heat's journey last year, yeah, that tells you all you need to know right there. You get your foot in the door, you catch some fire, you get some good consistency, you get some good things going, and you can have avalanche into good stuff with positive, good play happening. You make shots, you feel good, all of a sudden you're rolling. And that can happen. That can happen. Stargate saying, send Kelly out there to deal with Draymond. Yeah, I'm sure he has many times. Many times. Kelly knows how to deal with him. Kelly was interesting in his interview. I want to hear more Kelly interviews. I feel like yesterday was the first real Kelly interview we've gotten. And he was interesting. He was talking about Brad Stevens. In some ways, I've never, ever heard one of our Raptors guys reference a Brad Stevens lesson because of obviously Kelly was with the Celtics in his early career. And he's talking about Brad Stevens telling them never to get too up or too down, to just kind of keep grounded, that you're never as good as anybody says you are, and you're never as bad as anybody says you are. This is very general, basic, like NBA stuff. But Kelly wanted to put it out there. He learned this from the Celtics, Brad Stevens, which is interesting. We don't often hear guys in our interviews giving credit to something from Brad Stevens teaching them. So Kelly's really insightful, really intelligent, and I love him being on our team. And having him in the Raptors jersey is a dream. And man, so good, so good, so smart. Let's see. Wayne saying, Chris, I used to apologize for the guy, but he just ain't it. Lex still taking up for Precious, but his heart is going to be broken when the gem turns out to be fake. Honestly, I think that Precious is a success already. Like, what do we want him to do? Like, what is your level of success for him? To me, I think he's extremely successful right now because he can guard almost any position and any player in the NBA because he is a top level rebounder. Because, I mean, honestly, if he doesn't do anything with his offensive game in the future, he's great. He's a great role player. So I don't know what y'all expect of him. I said he could be like Scott. Maybe not exactly, but there's some things about him that offensively could be developed further and made into being more of an even better offensive player. I don't know. I think that in some ways he's guilty by association because of Malachi. I think that because he was so paired with Malachi on our team on the bench that a lot of you guys are sewering Precious alongside the memory of Malachi. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. So we'll see. He's a gem to me right now as he is. And if he doesn't change or do anything else, I'll still say he was a very successful NBA player. And I'm proud of him. I just love his style of play. I love like the pure talent that Achua has. And like, seriously, I really do still feel like we're scratching the surface with him and he can be even better. But if he doesn't realize it, like you're saying, Wayne, I won't be upset about it because I already feel like he's a success. Let's just say that. Jill saying, someone please explain why we're not allowed to know who the special draft picks are. What do you mean? We're not allowed to know who the special draft picks are. What do you mean? What do you mean? What are the special draft picks? I'm confused. Most saying good practice interviews yesterday from Bruce Brown in reference to play-ins. I agree, Fiercey. Yeah, Bruce was good. Kelly was great. I want to hear more Kelly interviews because he really talks like high level stuff and he's really like telling us things is really good. And then Darko was good too yesterday in his interview. Let's see. Fiercey saying, what, Lex? Precious over OG? No, I'm not saying that he's better. I'm saying that I missed Precious more than OG because I expected OG to leave. That's the thing. I was gearing up for Anunoby and Siakam exits. I had to mentally prepare for that. I was preparing for it for like a month because I kind of knew it might happen. And then when Precious was thrown in there, I was hoping he would still be on our team. That's why I was more shocked and hurt by Precious leaving, is because I hadn't geared up for him to be in the trade and to be off the Raptors. I really thought that Masai valued him and he would still be here. But obviously the Knicks liked him too, and they wanted him. So they made him a part of the deal. That's why. It's not that I think that Precious is better than OG. It's just that I wasn't ready to lose Precious at that time. I was ready to lose OG because I knew we were going to lose OG probably. And Precious being added into the deal was a shocker at that time, and that's why I reeled from it. Really, that's what it is right there. Jill saying, reference dinner preference over pizza. Casuals are under the other interpretation. I love this statement, Lex. Well, I don't know. When we find out if they did eat pizza, it'll be what it is. We'll find out. Hopefully they ate somewhere nice. I hope we find out soon. Maybe we find out today. Milbester saying, Lex, Knicks rarely do trades for one player. After the Melo trade, they don't do it anymore. Yeah, I don't think that. I think the trade was well worked out, and I'm not upset about it now. I realized in some ways, like, Precious was the extra part of it that I really didn't want to give, but in some ways, to make it happen, that's how it had to happen. Now, of course, we got to get that first pick in the second round and find out who that's going to be, and that'll even out the whole picture because we still have somebody to be named later to be part of this deal because we got y'all's pick in the second round. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see who that person is, and then we can add up and see, all right, Malachi, Precious, OG for RJ, Emmanuel, and this drafted player. And then we can really kind of analyze the deal then. We can't until the draft picks are done. Same thing for the Siakam deal. Same thing for that. Yeah. Let's see. Most saying, guys, please don't say I'm lying. Reference the pizza. Aaron Rose shared it too. I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying I don't think that clip is real. Aaron Rose, I don't trust him either. I don't trust that guy. In some ways, I don't think that guy's a journalist. He's a Tiger Beat reporter. All right, let's keep going. When I see it in another place that I trust, I will definitely confirm it. So Milbester saying Knicks always get more than one player in a trade. After the Melo trade, they haven't done that since. Look what they gave up to get one player in Melo. Yeah, you said that already. He's saying, my grandfather was an alcoholic from my dad's side, so I can relate to you, Lex. I don't drink alcohol, neither does my dad. My grandfather's drinking affected my dad, and it's a generational thing. Oh, yeah. It's prevalent in my family. Definitely. Yeah, I have alcoholics on my mother's side pretty heavily. Yeah, whether it's my uncles, my mom, I have cousins. Yeah. In some ways, I'm just so happy and blessed that I found sobriety as an alcoholic at 35. That, a lot of alcoholics can't find sobriety very soon until it's too late, whether they're like having health issues or they've completely destroyed their life. Well, I've completely destroyed my life as an alcoholic. And when I did, I got better because I was like, well, I got to start over. And that happened at the age of 35. And now it'll be 14 years, no alcohol since 2010 this year. And it's the best choice I ever made. And in some ways, people are like, don't talk about it so publicly. In some ways, AA tells you, don't come out like this. I don't care. I'm brave. In some ways, people are struggling. And I feel like a lot of the reasons why people tell people not to talk about alcoholism is because they don't want to look at themselves. The rules of alcoholism are, it's dangerous for me to talk about it so openly, but I don't give a shit because I'm brave and I'm unapologetically me and all my flaws. If someone wants to hurt me because I'm an alcoholic, we'll go, so be it. Shame on you. But if I speak out and talk about it publicly, in some ways, I know that's against the tenements of AA in the meetings. They say don't talk about it publicly, and there's reasons why that, but it's usually to protect the alcoholic themselves. But also the other side of it is they don't want people to talk about alcoholism because they don't want people to start looking at themselves or thinking about their own lives. And that's a problem. It's like, oh, you're alcoholic. You don't want to talk about it to everybody. Shut up about it. We don't want to look in the mirror ourselves. That's part of it sometimes. Milbester, I commend you. If you've made a life choice because of your family and the way things have gone, your strength and what you've done has been great. And you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, don't second guess your decision because your life is way, way better than the alternative it could have been with the other decision. I'm just going to tell you that right now. All good, super fan. Listen, we love you, Monique. And I'm not saying you're a liar. I'm just saying I'm suspicious of the clip you shared. And it's not an indictment of you. It's an indictment of Snapchat as an app, as a platform. It's really about the whole app. TikTok is very sketchy too. If there's stuff on TikTok, I may more likely to believe it because they have more verified accounts. On Snapchat, I don't have any fucking idea what's real or not on that platform. You really have a hard time kind of figuring it out. So let's see. Jill saying, BlogTO also shared that horrid looking pizza pic. Why is no one in that photo showing enjoyment? This makes no sense. Yeah. Yeah. Either way, I don't want to overanalyze this. It's a dinner. We should be thinking about the Warriors. In some ways, we'll figure out the details of what happened with the dinner with Darko, and we'll report it here when we finally know for sure. If it is what those pictures are and everything like that, and BlogTO sharing it, yeah, it's not like BlogTO is the most reputable source for news either. Let's just put it that way. In some ways, you can pay to be on BlogTO in Toronto if you want to be. Cowboy saying, pizza or not, let's go Darko and Raptors. Yeah. Sportsnet did a 180 on how they described it on their broadcast on Wednesday when they did the Mavericks game. Danielle Michaud coming in saying dinner with Darko. She did not mention the word pizza in the whole broadcast. Kudos to you, Danielle, for being like, you know what? That's not what anybody said. It's dinner. And maybe also that some of these companies are like, we don't want to give free publicity to Pizza. This bullshit. That's what Pizza is doing. They're jumping on the free publicity. They're trying to get business up by really amping up the whole idea of the Pizza because they're opportunists and they want to get more traffic. That's a big part of it right there. Let's see. Pizza or not, let's go dark on the Raptors. Jill saying, I like Precious. Yes, I'll allow him to come back. Laugh out loud. I don't know if he'll actually come back, but I just wish him well in his career. Fiercely saying, Lex, you skipped my comment. I meant Shams is so unreliable. He should be on Snapchat and leave Woj on a reliable platform. Shams often edits his initial tweets. So many fake news. Yeah, you get it wrong. They get it wrong. Like, think about when we traded Dennis to the Nets. They were trying to say that we got Dennis Smith Jr., and that was not accurate, and it was misinformation. So these guys do get things wrong. Okay, thank you for clarifying, Fiercey, and I apologize for missing your comment. Cowboy saying Precious would be good with this new era Raptors. We'll see what the general genius Masai does this summer in the draft. I don't know. Precious was just here. Jill saying yes. All right, we're at 11-11. Do a wish. Raptors win. That's what we want. All right, let's see. We're getting close to the end here. Chris is saying at Wayne, this idea of what Precious could be under perfect conditions, his major issue is that he can't dribble well. Maybe if he fixes that, he can get better, but he is so upright about it. I doubt it. I think Precious is a great dribbler. I don't agree with you guys on like cringing when he puts the ball on the floor. I think he's fantastic. I think he's a better dribbler than OG. Yeah. I think that I have more faith in Precious putting the ball on the floor and driving on the dribble than OG Anunoby. Yeah, I do. Seriously. Milbester, take notes on what I'm saying here. Cowboy saying, let me know what you think of Kayshawn George, Lex. Raptors Freaks. All right, we'll do the scout for today. You want Kayshawn George. Is that how you spell his name? Now, that's one thing you're going to have to do. If you're going to give me names, Cowboy, you're going to have to make sure you really spell them correctly. Because, all right, that is how you spell the name. He's Swiss. He's from Switzerland. He's from Monthey, Switzerland. He's 20 years old. It doesn't tell me his height in feet. It's got it in meters. Okay, he's a Miami Hurricane, just like Bruce Brown Jr. Yeah, we won't hold that against him completely. 6'8". He's a forward, small forward shooting guard. All right, let's go look at the clip. Keyshawn George, Miami Hurricanes. Let's see what he looks like on the court, and we'll give you my live scout of Keyshawn George. Let's see the top clip on YouTube of him. Let's see. We'll see him against this is the mid-season highlights. Hang on. All right, let's see. Where is he? He's got the ball. He's taking a three. Not a bad shot. It seemed like a pretty quick release. Let's see. He's the guy with the big hair, number 7. I like his fro. All right, he's got an outside shot. It's not a bad set shot 3. So 2 highlights have made threes. This is the next one. His hair's tied up on that one. It's got a good arc on his 3. Here he is in transition off of a miss. He's getting the rebound and putting it back. So he runs the floor. It didn't seem like he was running that hard, though. He just kind of went with the flow of it. Here he is going down the lane. Nice vision to get the dump off to the guy for a drop off when he draw and kick. Okay, so he's got a 3-point shot. He's got a motor for a transition. And it looks like he does a lot of like passing when he gets near the basket. And maybe he tries to go at the basket and he's a drive and kick. All right, let's see him in transition. He's got people around him. He's dribbling around. He hits his friend for a 3. He has some court vision too. So he's a 6'8" small forward that actually can pass, is what it looks like. He's got passing and he's got a 3-point shot. And oh, there's a nice lob, but it missed. That was a really bad pass. Why would they put that on his highlights? Okay, there's a stop and pop that he missed on. Why are they showing the misses now? Oh, they're showing his weaknesses. His weaknesses are his off the dribble. This is a weird highlight reel. They're showing like a whole bunch of stuff that he does good, and then they're showing like stuff he doesn't do good. All right, I guess that shows the full picture. All right, Keyshawn George. He looks like it's weird. He has hair like Ron Harper Jr. And he looks like he's got an okay 3. He looks like he's got a good wingspan. He looks like he's good in transition. And he looks like he's a good passer. If he drives into the lane, he can pass out. There you go. There's your quick scout on Keyshawn George of the Miami Hurricanes. Fiercey is saying now that hang on. La 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 la. Achua is athletic indeed. Now add fundamentals, dribbling, passing, court vision, shooting, and he would be a beast. He's a good rebounder, so at least he boxes out. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. I will be for a long time. Jill saying, Lex, Wayne said impetuous, not impetus. I learned a new word today. Okay. Well, we're always learning here, that's for sure. Chris is saying with Precious, I think he started basketball rather late in life, I can say, and the dribble ability comes early in players' life. He missed that part, but he's a great rebounder. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know if that's true. He's not one of these guys like Chris or Pascal. Those guys got the game late. I think Precious played when he was a kid. I don't think that's true about Precious. I don't think he did come to the game later in life. I think he grew up in New York. So he was playing in the streets of New York like early. I'm pretty sure that's the story with him. I don't remember hearing him starting late. I really don't. I don't remember that. So I'm not totally positive that that's true. Jill's saying Precious can't dribble well. What? I see. I don't agree with that. I think Precious does very well bringing the ball up the court. Everybody gave him that knock, and I thought it was so unfair. I mean, if he was so bad at dribbling up court, do you think Nick Nurse would have let him do it for so long? Seriously. Seriously. Think about that. The logic. Nick Nurse is very controlling. Why would he allow Precious to bring the ball up in transition if he was a horrible transition dribbler? That's not true, y'all. Y'all keep saying that, but it's not true. He's actually really good, and he didn't cause as many turnovers as y'all thought. Seriously. I may have selective memory the other way than you guys have. You guys may have selective memory for bad stuff he did. I may have selective memory for his successful outcomes. So let's see. Yeah, Precious can't dribble well. Luka's dribble is also regularly poo-pooed, but Mavs still keep winning. That's not really a good comparison. Luka has a very good dribble, and he is a better dribbler than Precious. He is. Most saying tonight is my first night in a long time not going to the Raptors game because I went to the last game versus the Warriors. Okay, Mo. Well, you know what? You've been going so much. I mean, and sometimes I wonder about fatigue. You know, covering the games is very fatigue. The All-Star break was a nice break to not have to cover the game so much. So going the game so much, that can be tiring. There is a lot of games right now. So you're not going to be down there tonight, but I'm sure maybe you'll be down there for Charlotte on Sunday or the game after that, the other 2 home games we got coming up maybe. I'm sure you'll be at least one of them, if not both of them. Cowboy saying every slammed up the like button right fucking now. Let's go Raptors and Raptor Freaks. All right. Okay, Cowboy. And Mo's saying W stream, keep at it always. Good times, good times. Let's try and keep climbing. That's right, Mo. Thank you. I'm proud of you, Lex. Thanks, Cowboy. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie. My battle with alcoholism has many, many victims around me, myself, people that were around my life at that time. It was not good. You know, I went to jail for drinking and driving crimes. I've been a very horrible alcoholic, and I can only make amends in my life going forward of trying to stay sober and never, ever picking up it ever again. Because if I do, I know there's 2 places I'll go. I'll either go to the grave or to jail. The last time I was drunk, I was in jail, in Florida jail. And you know what? You don't want to be in Florida jail. Let's just put it that way. Just trust me. You don't want to be in Florida jail. Yeah. Yeah. I was in a Florida jail where they were holding a serial killer in one of the parts of the jail while I was there at the same time. Gary Michael Hilton. That's right. I was in jail with Gary Michael Hilton. Not in the same pod, but I was in the same facility at one point. Gary Michael Hilton has been put to death since then. Yeah, he got the death penalty in Florida, and they put him to death for the murder of a Sunday school teacher at the Springs in the south of Tallahassee in the county south of Tallahassee. She was bathing at a sinkhole in the woods, and he happened upon her and murdered her. Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to be in jail in Florida. Just trust me. And I am a Florida guy. I know about Florida very much. The history, the seediness of that state is crazy. It is crazy. Yeah. Fiercely saying, done. Thank you. Kelly, yeah. Let's see. Chris is saying, Jill, you aren't comparing Precious to Luca, are you? Really? The two players are worlds apart, planets apart. If Luca is a stallion, Precious is a Shetland pony. But hey, he is in the NBA. Yeah, I don't think that comparison was fair. The dribbling of Luca to Precious, I don't think that was fair. But I mean, we don't have to insult Precious at the same time. Let's see. Great job, ladies. Thank you. And Wayne saying, Jill, Precious is no Luca. There you go. Cowboy saying, make a wish. It's 11-11. Let's go Raptors. I want them to win. And Jill saying, Chef keeps saying Luca's dribble will kill playoff hopes. That's interesting. That's an interesting take. Maybe it's because he dribbles too much, that he's like taking too much time off the clock and just kind of doing some certain stuff. Okay, Mo's got March is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month. That's awesome. That is awesome, Mo. Definitely want to put awareness on cerebral palsy. This is something that I've known many people throughout my life that is affected. When I grew up in Florida, my neighbor had it. The father of a family and two of my best friends, their dad had it. And in some ways, I was taught about that condition very young, that in some ways, people that have it do everything just like everybody else does. Mr. Harder used to drive me to school, and he had CP. And I was like, when I saw, their dad with CP could do everything everybody else could, it inspired me. It made me realize how you can see people with disabilities differently, but you shouldn't, because they are extremely capable and they can do so much and so much in so many different ways and contributions. And Monique Lawrence is the epitome of this. She is the epitome of contributions and great service and all kinds of different things she does as far as helping us stay informed and just being who she is as a great role model, as a super fan. And yeah, CP affects my life because Adriana has CP, and she's going to get a tattoo in the near future that commemorates her issues that she deals with, epilepsy and CP. It's going to be a nice little tattoo that has the colors of CP and epilepsy to show that she's a warrior in her struggles, and her overcoming, in her battles, and her winning, and just having a sensational life, even though she has to work through these things. Yeah, I commend Monique and Adriana and everybody out there with CP, living your life and making the best of it. You guys are awesome, and you're inspirations in all kinds of ways. I will definitely bring this up all month, Mo. Bring it up over and over again. See, Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month is March, and I'm here with you, making more aware people out there. Seriously. Chris is saying that, Jill, it's that Luca dribbles too much, too ball dominant, and doesn't give up the ball easy, but he can dribble just fine. Yeah, that's what I figured. If he's going to dribble around too much, he may mess up the Mavs for sure. Cowboy saying, later, Lex and Raptor Freaks, have a great and safe day. Wayne saying, Lex, OG doesn't try to dribble when he gets the ball after rebounds. Hang on, it jumped. Your excuses for Precious, who we personally like, has no bounds. I have some gems to sell you. I honestly think he's a supreme talent. Like, there's some athleticism in Precious that's not common in NBA players. And that's part of the reason why I really like him. Plus, I like his personality. I think he's a good dude. And I thought that he was a great Raptor when he was with us. That's right. Yeah. Jill saying, see you tomorrow, Cowboy. All right. Yeah. OG equals defense. That's for sure. And Jill saying, Lex, my friend is AA sponsoring. He confided in me that a person usually makes several tries before finally agreeing to AA. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't come to it until I was ready. Part of it is that I've made myself available for many of my friends, and I have counseled many, and I have sponsored people myself. So yeah, I know about that kind of a relationship with people. And you know what? I feel really proud of some of my friends that actually are with me on the sober side of things. We're getting good time behind us. And it's not easy. It's not easy. Dana's saying Precious sets Scotia on fire. Yeah, he's an exciting player. He can have a play that can get everybody going quick. That's for sure. Jillian saying, I bugged Danielle Michaud about using the word pizza more than once. PR people rock. So you had a hand in this, Jill. You messaged Danielle Michaud and told her it wasn't a pizza party, and she listened. She just called it dinner with Darko. Thank you, Jill. If you had any influence on that, Danielle Michaud, thank you also. because in some ways it shows your integrity as a journalist to try and get to the facts of what is happening. Good stuff. Good stuff, Jill. You have influence. You have influence, Jillian. I love it. You keep influencing. You're a Raptor freak. You are influencing the right stuff. I appreciate you, Jillian Moody. Fiercely saying, we got you, Lex. I appreciate you guys all, y'all. Listen, my journey is my own journey. Everybody has their own journey, and it's your journey to suss out for yourself. And in some ways, listen, I'm not going to say everybody who drinks is an alcoholic. I'm just saying everybody has a risk to become an alcoholic. And you need to be aware of that. Everybody can get arrogant and say, oh, I'll never become an alcoholic. But everybody should just kind of like watch out just in case, because it is in some ways very demonic, the entity of alcohol. Trust me, it can take everything away from you. I know that very, very much myself. And that's the only reason why I say, look, have fun, celebrate. I want people to have fun. I want people to enjoy things responsibly. But, always just be careful. If you find your drinking behavior is changing and it is becoming a problem in your life, definitely seek out help. And it's on your own schedule and your own time and your own terms. It's not for me to determine it. It's for you to figure out for yourself and what you need to do if you need to at all. If you don't, you don't. You just do your life. That's just how it is. There you go. Yeah. Fiercely, thank you. W Stream. Let's go, Raptors. And Kareem saying, we all just want playoff precious. Y'all remember on Fast Break Pull-Up 3? And that moment, we all knew Achua had special talents. I know. I'm remembering part of my love for him is the playoff series against Philly a couple years ago. And just what he did to Embiid was embarrassing at times. Like, he really played Joel very well. In some ways, I got to give him some credit for the work he did against Joel in that first round series. The defense on him, the scoring on him. In some ways, Precious made himself a Raptor legend in the Philadelphia Raptors first round, Scotty's rookie year. So that's part of it right there. I have a lot of special memories of that. Yeah, Kareem saying, sorry, against the Sixers. Yeah, it was against the Sixers. That's right. Wayne saying, Nick allowed him to dribble up, and then he didn't play again for long stretches. Enough of Precious. He's not a Raptor, and Knicks are going to be out in the first round. And Chris is saying 100%. It's all good. Listen, it's all good. In some ways, I'm standing for former Raptors like Dennis and Precious, and I know it's not totally popular with everybody, but that is what it is. In some ways, I'm not standing for Malachi, at least. Fiercely saying, which is worse, fam, over dribbling or taking forever for free throws? Over dribbling. Yeah. Taking forever for free throws is not a big deal. Now, if they're going to count them just like they do with Giannis in Indiana, that's great. That, in some ways, they can get in trouble for taking too long at the free throw line, and they get penalized for it, and you get the ball. Over dribbling hurts your team. Over dribbling takes the shot clock away, and it takes away ball movement, like people passing it between each other. I hated Fred holding that ball at the top of the key and just dribbling the clock out and then making his move just on his own going. I mean, IQ's done this recently too, and it annoys me. I know that the clock is the clock, and maybe you're standing there just watching, trying to read the floor, and then you're going to go and you're going to do your move, and you're quick, and you can beat them. But in some ways, I look at the shot clock as the time period to try and beat the defense. And to beat the defense, you want to work it around like we have in passing. It's you want to get ahead of the defense. And in some ways, if you wait a whole chunk of the clock just holding the ball, that's time you could be trying to beat the defense or get ahead of it. And that's why I hate the singular player just holding the ball and running clock out and then trying to make a one-on-one isolation move themselves. In some ways, that is very predictive. If somebody's going to stand at the top of the key and hold the ball, well, we know what they're going to do. They're going to wait for the right time, and then they're going to go. In some ways, that is not really that strategic. It's just kind of like lazy in some ways. It's maybe the guy wants to control, to hold the ball and make the shot themselves, and they have a utmost ability and a confidence in themselves. That's great. But often when you do that kind of shit, the defense is getting itself set, and they're patient, and they're getting really watching, and they can react, and it doesn't usually have a good outcome. That's why I don't like the holding the ball that we're talking about. And I think it's much more detrimental than taking a long time at the free throw line. Yeah. So over dribbling is worse, Fiercey. Very much. Jill saying apples and oranges, Fiercey. Yeah, I mean, they are apples and oranges, Jill. You're right. Cream saying, Lex, if we were to make a jersey change, what would it look like to you and what colors? Wow, this is a really interesting question out of the blue. Well, we've talked about this recently, and I'd like to do this. I would like to do either one of two things. I'd like to get back to just red and white next season and make it a very prominent maple leaf on our jersey next year. Yeah, I think that we have RJ and Kelly going forward. We should really embrace the Canadian identity of our team and go red and white and make a maple leaf be on our jersey somewhere. I think that that's what we should do. Or if we're not going to do that, we can go retro style, old original Raptors jerseys from expansion years, except instead of purple and black, I want them to be red and black. I want them to be doing the original Raptors jersey in a new color scheme of red and black without the purple involved. You make it a black backdrop with the red Raptor on black. That's the jersey. Those are the two ideas I want that I like right now going forward. If we're going to change things and make them different, we either go red and white with a prominent maple leaf on there to embrace RJ Barrett and Kelly Olynyk's presence on our team, or we go the old school, original, retro Raptor expansion look in black and red instead of the purple. Yeah, make the jersey black and make the Raptor red and have the old logo and make it look cool, except in the current colors. That's the way I look at it. Those are my two ideas right there, Kareem. Fiercely saying both are my pet peeves. The two things, taking too long on the free throws and over dribbling. So is Emmanuel bugging you? Because he takes the longest for free throws on our team right now. Quickly is not quickly at the free throw line. He's slowly at the free throw line. I've said that before he even played for us. I was saying that about him before, kind of making fun of him when he was on the Knicks. I said, well, damn, quickly is definitely not quickly on the free throw line. He's slowly on the free throw line. He's probably the worst at that right now for the Raptors. He may be the one who needs the countdown. Yeah, Stargate saying, just like last game, all I want to see is effort and playing the right way regardless of outcome. They need to play better on the defensive end, though. Double team Wardell. Yeah, maybe. In some ways, when you double team, I don't, you know what? Actually, I don't believe in double teaming Steph. And the reason why is this. He can be like Luka and be very good at getting other people involved. In some ways, the thing is with Steph, sometimes he is dialed in. He's making all the shots, but sometimes he's off. And sometimes you want to dare him to shoot. And sometimes you want to just let him shoot. We'll have to see how he's shooting. It's the kind of thing that's like, let's see how he's shooting. If he makes his first few shots, then yeah, we need to guard him. Maybe double him. But if he's not, leave him, let him play him one-on-one and let him just shoot. He may be bricking tonight. There is a little bit of that with Steph these days. He's either on or off. And we could see him have a bad game against us. We guard him. We may not need to double team him. In fact, bringing the double team to him, he may kill us by passing out of it to the open guy that the double team came from. So that's the wary thing I have about him. He's a great passer out of the double. Sometimes it's better to play them straight up like Luka. But it depends on if he's killing us. If he's killing us, he's just scoring like crazy, well, then I say go double him. Then Chris is saying the thing on OG was that he was too often hurt, and we speak he's hurt. That trade was amazing. RJ and IQ. Messiah's a masterstroke. If we draft the center, shit. Yeah, I don't really give OG that knock either. Injury prone. Everybody's upset. I know he's injured right now, but in some ways, I always think about what he did on the court and what he's done on the court. So, I mean, I don't know if he was too often hurt. I mean, he did get regularly hurt. That's true. But he did show up a lot too, and he was there in important parts. I love the trade too. I wouldn't change the trade. Don't get me wrong. In some ways, I was sad that Chua left, but if that was the price we had to pay to get RJ and IQ, well, we paid it. We paid it. Jill saying, Lex, I didn't say Precious can't dribble well. Did I say that? I don't think I did. I think that he dribbles really well. I think other people were saying he didn't dribble well. Most saying, can't believe it's March already, though. I know. March Madness, nearing the end of the NBA season. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Kareem saying, I'm also a recovering alcoholic and drug abuser since my scholarship got ripped at Michigan State, but never did anything for almost 8 years. Yeah, that's the kind of heartbreak. I had a career. I had a marriage. I was supposed to start a family. And my alcoholism destroyed all that. My wife left me because of my alcoholic tendencies and problems. And, I lost a career with a salary and benefits and it was lucrative, because of my alcoholism. It can really destroy your life. It really can. And I'm only a cautionary tale. I'm not telling people how to live their life, but Kareem's another cautionary tale. And that's part of the reason why him and I bonded is because he can understand my story because in some ways his story has similar parts. And yeah, it sucks. It'll take stuff. Michael's here. Good to see Michael Motley. uh, 9:30 every morning talking Raptors. Tomorrow we'll be reacting, and there could be a special thing that happens tomorrow on my stream. So y'all stay tuned. Tomorrow's stream could be very fun. Let's just say that. I don't want to ruin the surprise. But yeah, we'll see what happens. He's saying, Lex, Precious' only problem is his basketball IQ isn't high enough. We've talked about this a lot, and IQ on basketball court. I agree. In some ways, you may be right. There are dumb mistakes that he makes. There are kind of silly mistakes. In some ways, you are right. I believe this is true. This has been a knock on Precious. In some ways, he makes boneheaded mistakes on the court that turn into turnovers, or he just isn't exactly tuned in on the game sometimes. Like he should be in a spot, but he misses his assignment. No, I've seen this knock on him, and I won't disagree with you, Michael. I think that it is true that in some ways his basketball IQ is suspect. I would say that. I think that you're right. I think you're right in some ways. In some ways, it's like Scotty's making really brilliant decisions in the moment when things are going on really quickly in the game. Maybe sometimes Precious didn't make the best decision. And those split second decisions you got to make in the NBA. All right, I'll give you the guys this one. The basketball IQ knock is a little bit true. A little bit true. Jill's saying Stargate. David Saborin says to hear Lex better, clear out your cache. Is my volume down low again? This has been a weird thing. I can see the mic is registering, but yeah, if it's quiet, I apologize for that. Yeah, just turn it up if you can, and I'll try and fix things in the future. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my computer. My computer's been really flaky lately. I may have viruses. I might have to do some stuff to it. Fiercely saying, you're right, Lex. Over dribbling can be damaging. Please, Curry, can you do it tonight and cause turnovers? The Raptor freaks would appreciate it. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Blackhawk saying, Lowry was a master with 7-second rule. He would work the clock down to 7 seconds in an attack. You have to be a great point guard to pull it off. It minimizes fast breaks. Yeah, I mean, I understand why guys do it. I feel like you should be working the ball at least around the horn, if not trying to get it inside to the paint. Now, it depends on what you're trying to get. If you're trying to get a 3-point shot because you need 3, well, in some ways you may work it a little different. You may go inside out. But yeah, Lowry was very good at managing things like this. In some ways, I would say the things that bug me about Fred doing it didn't bug me as much with Kyle, because a lot more the outcome was successful with Kyle for sure. Yeah. Jill's saying 11:30 and drink water. All right, I'll do that. And Mo's saying, "Oh, Lex, Blake Murphy taking a break from Raptor show on what Lindsey Dunn. I noticed no Blake. You're right. I'll bet he'll be back. I think that it's a good formula to have a rotating co-host with William Liu. I think it's smart. You get different voices, a little bit of difference all the time. It could get stale with the same co-host all the time. And I think that that's the decision they came to with the Raptor show. Wayne said, lexicon. That Sixers series, Precious missed 2 free throws near the end of the game. See, you guys are remembering all the really bad stuff about him. I don't know. I'm not going to hold it against him. But you are right. I kind of remember that. All right. We're going to just be different stands. I stand for Precious. You guys are not necessarily Precious stands. It's all good. Variance is good. Jill's saying, I like Precious circular around the earth shot from underneath the basket. Nobody else does that. Yeah. I mean, he uses his arms to make large circles, then pops the ball in. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Fiercely saying, salute the cream. We got you as well. Yeah, I mean, that was something that we talked about at the meet and greet at the Real Jerk, is what Kareem confided in me, a similar path, like what I've gone through and stuff. Man, it's not easy. And you know what? Listen, I would say this. Kareem has a family. He has his kids, and thank God, you can wreck that stuff. And in some ways, if you did things in the right timeline, that you've avoided any hardships around your family with the issue, that's fantastic. Because in some ways, I wasn't able to keep things intact, that it really got that bad with me. And thank God you've been able to keep a lot of things in your life, regardless of this issue, Kareem. Thank God. Really have gratitude for that. Seriously. Because you could be in my boat. And what happened with me was I lost the opportunity to have a family and my career all at once at the same time. And in some ways, I could have circled around and got it, but I knew that I wasn't healthy enough to do it mentally right or do it right with people. And I had to put the work in over time. And now I'm almost 50, and it's probably not going to be happening that I have kids. It's just not going to probably happen. But it's okay because everybody's life's different, and it's just sometimes paths are the way they are. It is what it is. But I'm glad that you kept intact a lot of things. Like I couldn't keep my marriage intact because I screwed up so bad. Yeah, it sucks. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Stargate saying, respect for your transparency and honesty about your alcoholism, Lex. Your testimony can really help others. And I'm saying, and I'm not saying this to direct this to anybody of y'all. I don't care. You guys have your own lives and your own ways of figuring things out for yourself. In some ways, I can only be an example and somebody that, like, listen, if there are alternatives, if there is a problem in your life. That's all I'm saying. Stargate, I appreciate that. I do. In some ways, man, maybe I should be shutting up about it. Trevor's saying, I'm going back out today to take some more of the Bad Boy movie shoot weather in today. 82 degrees before they leave this weekend. Holy crap, that sounds beautiful. It's a bit chillier here in Toronto right now. 6 degrees here of Celsius, not Fahrenheit. 6 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is Fahrenheit right now, but it's not a bad temperature. It's not below freezing. Blackhawk said, A is all good. My struggles with alcohol started in high school. I wasn't handling not having parents, too stubborn to admit I needed help. I was fortunate to break away from the alcohol. Neil, I love that story too, man. And listen, guys, if we can unite and be a good support group for each other, not only as Raptors fans going through the ups and downs of cheering for this team, but in any other ways, that's fantastic. Honestly, the fact that we're building a community and there is support in different ways in this community is awesome. And I love that. I'm so looking forward to the meet and greet. And as many of y'all can come down there and we can be together and watch this coaches open house together, that's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to come down there and have a good time. And it sounds like Evelyn's going to do something special for it. So you won't want to miss out. If you're somebody who's already committed to coming and you signed up and we're going to see you there already, that's great. If you're somebody who doesn't speak on the channel or comment or anything like that, but you love the channel and you've been watching, even if I don't know you want to come down there and sign up for it and introduce yourself, that's fantastic. We want to just get a good group of real Raptors fans to come down there. And this is a school. This isn't for celebrating or being loud or partying or anything. We're going down there to take school, take notes, and we need to have the decorum and attitude of a college student. Not necessarily a bad college student, but a good student. One that comes in and is attentive and takes notes and is really paying attention. It's that environment. It's going to be so fun. You guys, it's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience. Well, it's not really, but it is a very important experience that y'all can get, and you'll really, really enjoy it. Coach's Open House, March 19th. Sign up if you want to come. Sign up if you want to come. That's right. Let's see. Salute the Blackhawk for sure. I'm going to give Neil a three-pointer for being, I mean, listen, you didn't have to share your story just now. In some ways, I appreciate you doing it. That's bravery. Both you and Kareem. Very, very brave. Let's see. Jill's saying, I told the Raptors I like the black uniforms with the thin gold stripes plus a Raptor dinosaur located in the middle. After I said this, we never saw the uniform again. So, Jill, limited influence on some areas like Danielle Michaud, but not influence all over. Stargate saying, yes, the black OVO jerseys are nice. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Well, we had a black and gold jersey with the dinosaur on it. I remember that one. I remember seeing it. Blackhawk saying, I had an aunt who basically disowned me when she caught me stealing her alcohol. We didn't speak for years. Made me feel like the alcohol was more important than me when she caught me. Man, that's really a share. Blackhawk, I don't want to poo-poo it or anything, man. I mean, seriously, that's, it's tough. It's tough. And listen, it may have seemed at that time she was picking the alcohol over you, but it really, honestly, in hindsight, if you think about it, she was looking out for you is what it was, wasn't it? I hope you've been able to circle back with her and mend the fences and make everything right. Yeah, I'll bet. Okay, let's see. Fiercely saying, hoping your aunt and yourself have patched things up. Yeah. And he's saying, we speak now, but the relationship is not the same. Well, I mean, listen, at least you guys are on speaking terms and you're good. That's important. But who knows? Maybe there's a little bit more opening up between both of y'all, and you can find out exactly how it all went down from each other's perspectives in a way that's a little more palatable and smoothed over. Who knows? Maybe it's not necessary. And things are exactly okay the way they are right now, too. So, yeah, I mean, listen, it is what it is. And we appreciate you, Blackhawk, for being honest and open about your past. Yeah. Jill saying Blake equals 2 males. Lindsay is highly TV friendly. I think so too. Lindsay's got great energy, and I agree. I want to see more females on broadcast. I want to see them more represented. I want to see people of color represented more. I want to see people that aren't normally seen on TV more. Yeah, all of that. I'm with you. Yeah, Jill's saying, I hope your aunt will come around. I think they're okay. We'll see. I'm sure it's exactly okay. Kareem's saying, Blackhawk, let's go to the bar to drink pop and water and talk raps. I'll go with you guys. Let's make a new crew. I would still go to bars and drink pop, like ginger ale. Usually I'd get like a Canada Dry and sit there and hang out in bars. To an extent, I can do it. If I'm in a bar that's not too rowdy or too loud or crazy or overly drunk, I can do it. But if I'm in a bar where it's really crazy, I can't. It's like I got to find a kind of a slower kind of bar where people are not too crazy, and then I can do this. But otherwise, I can't. I have a very low patience. In some ways, I had a very high patience like 10 years ago, earlier in my sobriety, because I actually still worked in bars. I was so crazy. I was working as a bar back in Toronto. It was around me. I'm like carrying kegs. I'm opening kegs and they're spraying me in the face. I don't drink anymore. It was a really tough test, but I did it. But I got sick of drunks working in the bars in downtown Toronto after I got sober. And I really dealt with a lot of drunks. I worked at Betty's on King. Yeah, Betty's. And then I worked at Pacific Junction Hotel. And both of those locations were just hotbeds of crazy, crazy drinking and partying by college students and craziness. I was cleaning up vomit. I was dealing with overly drunk people all the time, trying to throw them out. So my patience with very drunk people has gone out the roof because of my work in bars in downtown Toronto since I got sober. It was a very toxic environment for me to be in. And in some ways, it was very dangerous, very, very dangerous. When I left that job, my boss told me when I left, the owner of Betty's, that guy, he said to me, I never trusted you because you didn't drink. I never got to see you drunk. And I never trusted you the whole time you worked for me because I never got you drunk. That's how toxic and bad those kind of scenes can be for somebody who's in AA like me, if you're trying to work in that industry. Never again. I can't. I cannot. Yeah. Let's see. But I'll go to the bar with you guys and we can get our ginger ales. You guys can get whatever you want. I'll get my pops. You get our pops and we can sit around and watch the game still. Fiercely saying, salute, Lex, to your channel. Great discussions, interactions with respect. Appreciate you, Fiercely. You're a big cornerstone to our group. Seriously. You're a big, big part of it. And I really, really do appreciate you. Yeah, we're going to do this. Neil, Kareem, we get together and we're going to go at one of the Raptor Freak meet and greets. We're going to do this. They're going to be the Mug Brothers. We're going to be the Pop Brothers. We can have the Mug Brothers and the Pop Brothers. We're going to have a new contingency in the Raptor Freak family, the Pop Brothers. And that's Kareem, Neil, and Lex, the Pop Brothers. That's right. We got Mug Brothers and Pop Brothers. That's right. Jill saying, I don't have kids, but I have nephews. Yeah, I have a nephew and a niece, and they're fantastic. I love them so much. Yeah, it is what it is. It's really weird. I was talking to my old high school best friend, and when we were in high school, I really wanted to get married and have kids at that time, and he was anti it. He was like, nah. He had issues with his father because he was an alcoholic, and he was like, I don't ever want to have kids because I don't want to ever have a situation like I did with my dad. And, he told me that I'm never getting married. I'll never have kids. Well, guess what? At this point, talking to him, who has the kids and is married at this point and who doesn't? It's really weird how we flipped. It's almost like the Freaky Friday. It's like, I don't know. His wish was not my wish, and my wish was not his wish. And we ended up with swapped wishes. He ended up with the wife and the kids. And I didn't. And I was the one who was gearing up for it in my teenage years and mentally thinking that I want to be a father. I want to be a mentor to a young boy, a young girl, and just be a great parent. And no, it just didn't happen. It was just not in the cards. And I really do blame my alcoholism to destroying my opportunity to have a family. I really do. That I wasted too much of my young adult life being in the bottle and being all fucked up to actually get things right, to get my family started. So it is what it is. But my friend's got his family and he never wanted it. It is what it is. It's all good. Fiercely saying all sorts of topics mixed with our love of the Raptors today. Amazing. Yeah. Milbester saying, Lex, New York City is like that too. Lots of bars and some places are toxic too, but most places are just chill to drink. I've been to a couple bars out there too. I like environments where you can be kind of quiet and just enjoy yourself. I think that it's good when you can talk to the people you go to meet. If you go to environments that are too noisy and nobody can talk to each other, it's like, what's the point? You might as well just stay home and have drinks and cocktails and whatever beverages with your friends at your own house. than go to somewhere where it's overly busy and crazy. Yeah, I'll bet it's crazy in New York. I bet a lot of those things that we have here in Toronto, you guys have there for sure. Definitely. Seymour said, I just received a pickleball court here in my warehouse. What the fuck is pickleball? Sheriff showing in at the end. He's got a pickleball court in the warehouse all of a sudden. I don't know. Maybe you can make the forklift some sort of like obstacle in the pickleball or something. I don't know. I don't know enough about it either, Seymour. You're talking to the wrong guy. I don't know the rules. You need a J and some coffee to deal with it. Jill saying, I love pickleball. It's not very difficult to find a court. Okay. All right, let's see. Fiercely saying everything happens for a reason. Well, this is the true thing. Like if I was having kids right now, I wouldn't do this channel. I think that's the damn truth. I think there's a lot of things that if things had gone differently, I would not be doing the Raptor Freak channel right now. So in some ways, that's true. I couldn't be exactly who I am if I did have children. So that is exactly right, Fiercey. And I trust my path. Even if it's not the one I intended when I was younger, I'm embracing it and I'm totally cool with it. In some ways, it's like I don't look at it as like a losing out thing. I just know that, like, listen, the grass can always seem greener on the other side, but don't do that. You just torture yourself. You got to embrace the things that are great about this. Like if I talked to my friend like I did yesterday, he can't do half the shit that I can do because he has kids and a wife. I have a lot of freedom. So in some ways, the embracing of that on the other side of the grass is something I should look at more than the missed experience of not having children. It's just really the cards you're dealt. Let's play the hand the best. That's what you do. That's what you do right there. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Must be getting popular. Pickleball is very popular. I mean, Scott Foster plays it. Scott Foster plays it. Yeah, Jill saying lots of us older folks trying to be in with the pickleball. Yeah, it's low activity, so older people can play it. That's part of it. It's athletic and good for older people to play it, but it's low activity. It's not hard on your body. That's why people like it. Let's see. Fiercely saying Tyler Hero is a master of pickleball. Apparently, it's a fun activity. A lot of people play it. I'm probably going to run across it at some point. I don't know. I haven't yet. Seymour said, I need a baby raptor. It's coming, y'all, or she's coming. I'm peeping pickleball. Okay. Okay. All right. What, you have the egg and it's emerging, and now you have the budding sport of pickleball in your warehouse, Seymour. It's just like when we started the Raptors. Is the inauguration. Jill saying Betty's just closed. That manager you had sound horrid. He's the owner. Yeah, I will say his name, but in some ways YouTube may come after me for slandering people or something like that. I would say his name. Yeah, Betty's closed a while ago. Betty's closed a couple years ago in the pandemic. Yeah. I have all kinds of horrible toxic stories about the culture at Betty's on King. Trust me. I could tell you guys a lot of stories about that place. Not flattering and not good at all. Not good at all. Everything that's textbook about shitty things about bars and restaurants in downtown Toronto, as far as, salts, as far as drugging people, as far as everything. Yeah, I've seen it all from the inside. I know about bar scenes. I know about toxicness. I know about cocaine. Yeah. I know a lot about that kind of shit around Betty's. Yeah, I could tell you. Fiercely saying, I only have one child, but I was dreaming of having three or four. What we envision or manifest may not always happen, but we must be blessed with what we have and what we've experienced in life. That's what I'm saying. Contentment in your life is exactly that, is trying to be content with what has happened and who you are and what is around you. Some ways people can't get that contentment because they wanted something else and it didn't go that way. It could be regret. It could be that they didn't succeed in something that they were supposed to do, that everybody thought they were supposed to do. It's all that kind of stuff. In some ways, society and economic drivers push on us that they think you got to do more. You're lacking. And that is part of what feeds fears and depression and sadness in people. Is because we're bombarded with messages about what a perfect life looks like. And when it doesn't exactly look like what they're selling us, we are made to feel inadequate. Most of advertising and products placement is placed for family consumption. They advertise couple stuff, this stuff for families with kids. And in some ways, it's not a world for someone like me, a man with, a relationship, but not really a family, and it is what it is. In some ways, I've come to grips with this in a very difficult time over the last 10 years of getting sober from alcohol. that I've gone through it and I understand it. If you can be conscious of this kind of stuff, consciousness will win everything. If you can be aware, if you can have a self-awareness that will tell you what is going on, you can battle anything and be all right. You just have to trust your path. You have to understand, look, regret is regret. You can't change anything. You can't go back and change things. It's just your path. You walk it and you see how it goes. You can shape your path ahead of you in the future, sure. But in some ways, you can't have regrets. It is what it is. It happened the way it was supposed to. And that's the way to do it right there. There you go. All right. It's almost 12. We're going to finish up right now. Jill, thank you for the 12 o'clock. Time to eat a salad. That's a good, healthy salad. I like that. Blackhawk saying true. Seymour saying Banton might sign back with us. That could happen. He's with the Trailblazers. He may circle back. I don't know. Maybe he won't. Maybe Scotty will say, I want Delano back. And they do. I don't know. We'll have to see. I wouldn't be upset if Banton came back. Well, I want to get him more savvy, though, in other experiences, and maybe comes back upgraded. And he's a much better contributor this time around on the Raptors. Fiercely saying social media does not help. It creates a vision, but another time for that topic. Laugh out loud. Have a great day, family. Yeah. And speaking of social media, let's do the Instagram stories real quick. Dennis Schroeder is proud of the guy from the Nets who just got hired by the Hornets to run them as a GM. He's saying that's tough. Good job. Proud of this guy. He started in Atlanta with this guy in 2013, and he's proud of him becoming the GM of the Hornets. I don't remember his name. What is his name? GM at 35 is what he's saying. I forget his name. Dennis is asking everybody, should he bring the gold patch back on his hair, guys? Should Dennis Schroeder bring back the gold patch? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I really am not sure. But yeah, Dennis had a good game last night. Good job beating the Hawks. Good job. Let's see what else is going on. Siakam shouting in Indiana. He's saying he's locked in like COVID nights. I don't know if that's the best caption, Siakam. Locked in like COVID nights. Nobody wants to be reminded of that shit. We get it. You're locked in, but why are you locked in like COVID nights? That's just extra. Do you get flagged for that? They put the little warning on that about CDC, so you should wear a mask. I don't understand that. Why'd you have to even put that COVID word in there? Nobody wants that reminder, Siakam. Locked in like COVID nights. All right, there's some in the kitchen something. Win Raptors tickets. What? The Raptor has hot dogs. He's throwing hot dogs through the air. He's like packed with real food for real fans. What? Hot dogs aren't real food. Don't even act like that's real food, Raptors. Oh my gosh. Chance to win with Maple Leaf and the Raptors for tickets? Okay. Let's see. What else is going on with stuff? Let's see. RJ Barrett is celebrating Brampton Warrior, AJ Lawson from the Mavs. He showed a picture from the game the other night with one of the Mavs bench players from Brampton. So a Canadian guy who's putting on blast, AJ Lawson. Mr. New York City is on the street somewhere with some cool glasses and a cool shirt. I don't know where you are. That's really it. There's not a whole lot on the Instagram stories. Maybe I didn't even need to do it. I don't know. Either way. Let's see. Blackhawk saying, I got 4. I told that I'm official out of the baby making business. They can make me a grandpa from now on. That's a blessing. That's amazing, Neil. I'm so happy for you, man. Grandpa Neil. Someday for sure. Seymour saying, I swear I got that step back like Harden. I got no kids, but I want one at least. Listen, whatever. It's going to be what it's going to be. In some ways, you know what? I'm too smart. In some ways, I could have been dumb and just had a kid irresponsibly at some point, but I never let myself do that. I grew up in Florida. Trust me, there were a lot of people doing that around me in Florida, just having kids irresponsibly. Well, I listened to them. I was like, I don't want a responsibility of a kid. I really want to think it through and do it right. And the settings and things just didn't happen the right way. I was trying to do it right with a marriage and a wife and a family and responsible planned parenthood. And the planning, it didn't happen the right aspects. And it is what it is. It is what it is. Seymour, you might still have time. And people have told me that too. Like, you're only 48. Robert De Niro had a baby at 80. This could happen still. Well, part of me is also like, well, as I just said, I'm thinking about it like smartly and planning wise. It's not good economic planning for me to have a child right now. Let's just put it that way. In some ways, it's sad to say, but this world's getting harder and harder for smart people to have babies consciously in a way where it's economically makes sense. And that's the shitty thing. If this world's supposed to be about freedom, if our economics are so tied up that people are making decisions on whether they're going to have offspring or not because they can't afford it, then we're in trouble. We're in trouble. especially if people like me that are being responsible and trying to be smart about it are not having children. The people that are really, that maybe like just having them like crazy. That's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying it's part of why I haven't is because I've tried to be responsible. Yeah. I wrapped it up. Yeah. Let's see. Blackhawk saying has a nice ring to it, Fiercey. Fiercey saying gold patch on Dennis won't match his uniform. It might look pretty good in the black and white. It might. Blackhawk saying they are a blast, Seymour. Listen, I'll bet. I'll bet. Jill saying if we grow up in this life, we may have kids in the next one. Maybe. I like that, Jill. Seymour saying I might just pull up 10K and go to the doctor and clone one. There you go. Make your own designer child. It may get to that point. Seriously. I mean, seriously, people are going to start having sex with robots. Anything's possible. Oh my gosh. Laugh out loud. Jill's saying that gold patch looks young and single. What? You're like, that's when he's young and single? I don't know if that's true. All right, let's do a recap real quick and get out of here. We're 1 minute to noon. Andrew Wiggins and Guy Santos are on the injury report for the Warriors right now. Day to day for Wiggins and out for Santos. On our side of things, the only person that's on the injury list is Chris Boucher. He's out with illness or questionable for tonight. And Marquise Noel also with the hamstring. The ref crew is Brian Forte, Ashler Moore-Gleish, and Derek Collins. Brian Forte and Ashley favor the Raptors. Derek Collins favors the Warriors. And it's a weird ref crew. I don't know how to totally suss them out, whether they're good or not. The Raptors 905 lost last night to Windy City Bulls. They had a chance. They didn't achieve the comeback. They could have, but they didn't. Jonte Porter, Moji, and Daryl Morsell are my 3 stars of the game. And that's it. If you have a Yahoo Fantasy team, set it up. Duke is kicking my butt. I'm not even giving him a good run right now. I'm really disappointed. I wish my team was doing better. So definitely check on your Yahoo Fantasy team. If you haven't done that lately, get it set up for tonight. All right. I appreciate you guys for being here. Jill saying, Lex, COVID nights turned me into basketball. You started watching basketball because you were locked in and locked down. That's why, Jill. Well, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. And Mo's laughing. She's laughing about it. And Jill's saying, Robert De Niro had a baby at 80? Yeah. He just had a baby like in the last 2 years. Yeah, Robert De Niro had a baby in the last 2 years, y'all. Seriously. It's crazy. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Have a great day. Raptorize your day. I'm going to do my workouts now and get all buff and do it in honor of the Raptors and sending that energy of working hard and getting after it and winning tonight. Well, I wish all our Raptors good luck with their health, no injuries, and get that win, that W over the Dubs. Let's beat the Dubs with the dub. You over them. Yeah, Al Pacino had one as well. Yeah, they were like battling for babies at 80 or something. I don't understand that. Jack Nicholson had a baby in his 70s too. So it's like, these old actors, they can do this kind of stuff. They're filthy rich. And people are like, you're so amazing. I don't care if you're old and gross. You're amazing. Your acting is so great. I'll have your baby. I don't know. I don't know how it goes. All right. Isaac Campbell's got me on blast. Thank you, Isaac. Coming in right at the end, the benevolent one. That's right. Let's go Raptors. Oh, wait. Should I do the main event marquee matchup? Let's do it real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Scotiabank Arena. And tonight we have the homecoming of Wardell Steph Curry. And in this corner, we're going to have a 3-point shootout between Del Curry and Grady Dick of Kansas fame, the first-round pick of the Raptors. Let's see who can win a 3-point shootout. We had Steph versus Sabrina at the All-Star break. Let's have Steph versus Grady. And let's see who wins this 3-point shootout. That's your main event marquee matchup for tonight. Let's go, Raptors. Let's beat the Warriors. And tomorrow I'll have a reaction for you guys, hopefully a good one, to a Raptors W. Let's get that W tonight, Raptors. Let's beat the Warriors. Let's get it done. Yeah, not old and gross. No, Robert De Niro, you're old and gross. I will not have your baby. No, I will not. You're 90. What are you doing?